Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, we don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, we don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ryan. I'm going to be your drill sergeant today. Today, we're going to be talking about the penis. We're going to be talking about the vagina. We're going to be talking about the scrotum. Do you know about the scrotum private lymph nut? Private lymph nut, can you hear me?
I do not know about I was too involved with it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Great to see you today. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. Yeah, baby. Welcome back. It is episode 947. We're glad to be here. I got to tell you, man, this Derpy's really driving me crazy. He's driving me nuts. And I know better to get involved with him. I know better to get involved with him. This started Friday. We've been talking about going to the draft, and trying to plan that all out. And I know better. I know better to get in with him because, listen, this is what he does. He's a pest for one. Okay, well, here's what he doesn't really listen to you when you're trying to put plans together. You say something, and then he comes back with a totally different plan, like it's better. For one, I don't know who he's talking to because it's not stuff that he would come up with. So I think there's somebody there kind of coasting him along. And he, we're putting plans together, and he's okay. Well, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, that's cool. He goes, "Is it cool if I meet you?" Because what we're gonna do, Mike, is we're gonna meet in Moon Township, and ride a bus down to the North Shore to avoid all the traffic. And the next day, I mean, we had it pretty much. And I basically let him do all the talking because, again, he kind of does this and he goes in circles. And I was like, "That's fine. That's fine." He goes, "Could I meet you at Moon and we'll go down?" I'm like, "That's absolutely fine." So then yesterday he texted. He's like, "Okay, well, what I'm gonna do." They have buses that are leaving Newcastle, which is a lot closer for him. And he was like, the tickets are basically the same. So we're going to take the bus from Newcastle downtown as long as, you don't just want to meet us. I'm like, that's fine. I get up this morning. He's like, well, I don't know. What time do you think you're going to be leaving from? I thought, dude, what? Stop. And I know better.
You know better, and this is just great comedy though for me because you stress about it. Like whenever I see you at the studio, or I shoot you a message, you're like, "Get this damn derpy," and it's just great. It's good enjoyment for me. It is great entertainment. My man cannot make plans at all. Like you and I, like if I was able to go, we would have the plan set in stone. Like 2 weeks ago. Like,
It would
hey,
have
this is
been
what we're
done
doing.
almost immediately, and that's the thing. Like I
Yeah.
said, I know better to get in with him because it's just never it's never like this. It's never quick done,
No.
and this is just where we're at right now, and I'm ready to kill him.
Because like you said, it's like you guys see him on the show, how distracted he can be in like the fleeting thoughts. That is what every conversation with him off air is like, and it's not as fun.
Hmm. So that's
We love him, but it's not as fun.
So I'm ready to jump off the Clemente Bridge. I'm going right for the bridge when I get there. Everyone's gonna stop and watch the draft. I'm just going right to the bridge, beeline.
No. You don't want to do the Clemente Bridge. You want to choose the Fort Pitt Bridge.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more traffic on that one. So you want to
buy a car first and then jump.
Yeah, you want to get a bigger audience, yell out the two Dum Yinzers, and then jump.
I like that.
You got to think what's best for the channel. What is best for this little logo right there is for you to jump off the Clemente Bridge.
I like it. I like it a lot. Everybody, welcome back to the show. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you be. Great to see everybody today. Welcome back. This is episode 947. Once again, guys, we were just 8 days away from the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Mike, and maybe perhaps a little sooner away from finding out what's going on with maybe the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is believed to be due to give his decision by the draft, but I'm not going to put any I'm not going to hold my breath on that, to be honest. No. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, I will not be surprised if he does not make his announcement again this time next week, Mike, because to this day next week will be just a day away. So we have a week till that comes through. A lot to get into today. I think the big story, it's not even a big story, but I think the big story would be visit number 29. Visit number 29, Mike. Today, of course, it was announced that Drew Aller, your quarterback, another quarterback added to the pre-draft visits, Mike, that is not Ty Simpson.
Yes. Could this be a smokescreen for Ty Simpson? I hope not.
A couple things before we do get started, guys. Pittsburgh Pirates, they dropped one last night. They came short on a comeback, losing 5-4 to the Nationals. The series tied 1-1. It is a 4-game series, though. The Pirates have a chance to get back at it today as they take on the Nationals at 6:40. Carmen Majewski will be on the hill for the Pirates. This is game 3 of 4 from that series. Brandon Lau, he hits another home run. That's 4 in 3 games last night for him. And among second basemen in the league, he's first in home runs and first in RBIs. Of course, he had the back-to-back 5 RBI games. So 11 RBIs in the last 3 games for Mr. Lau. Also, Mike, Joey Barton hits a home run. And Ozuna, he starts to make up for his shortcomings as he gets 2 hits last night against Washington.
Yeah, there's some good, we lost, but there's some good signs out of there. Like you said, Low, he's just crushing the ball. I saw people online were like, "Oh, I didn't realize we just signed Prime Barry Bonds."
Yeah,
it'd be awesome if he's not going to keep up that pace, but keep hitting home runs, keep providing some power in that lineup. And it's nice to see Ozuna start to round back into hopefully form. He's done this time and time again in his career, had some struggles, and then was able to bounce back.
Pittsburgh Penguins, Mike, they played their 82nd game of the season last night. They lose 7-5 to the St. Louis Blues. I don't feel that the 3-game losing streak heading into the playoffs is any concern, as they are in getting players healthy, letting guys get rested up to head into the playoffs. The series starts this weekend against the Philadelphia Flyers here in Pittsburgh. I'm still waiting on the date and time on that. It's either Saturday or Sunday from what I understand, but the Penguins back in the playoffs this year for the first time, like in quite a few years. They finished with 98 points overall. They finished second in the Metropolitan Division, and they finished with a record of 41-25-16.
Not a bad year for a team that a lot of experts said would be in the running for the number 1 overall pick in the McKenna lottery, and here they are sitting pretty in the Stanley Cup playoffs, man. Hopefully we can bring Lord Stanley back home.
And midweek football. That's right. Well, the other football. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, our soccer team right here in Pittsburgh, PA. They will be taking on Mike in the round of 32 this evening of the U.S. Open. 7:30 tonight. They're traveling to take on the New York Red Bulls. This game is a part of the big tournament, Mike. They'll be playing a couple games a week here, as long as they stay alive in the tournament. Tonight they do have the New York Red Bulls, so let's hope that they could pull that off. That game is at 7:30 tonight.
Yeah, they won this tournament I think 2 seasons ago.
Yes.
And that's awesome because it's like 2 or 3 different levels of professional soccer. The MLS, which is the major league, and then I think the Riverhounds are 2 leagues down. So like everyone competes for the big championship, and they pulled it out. Let's hopefully the boys can pull it out again.
That's right, guys. Here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's right. Just 8 days away from the NFL draft. 8 days away. So meaning we could have 7 to 8 days maybe on this anticipated decision by our 42-year-old quarterback to see if he will be returning this year or if he will not. Everybody is just chomping at the bit. I'm like, but not so much the Steelers. I'm going to get into a little bit here shortly on some comments said by the guys on the team about waiting around on this decision from Aaron Rodgers. A lot to get into today. I do want to say welcome, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. We do have a lot to get into, so let's get on the board pronto, if you will, Mike. Let's start off with Cody. Very first message of the day. Cody gets first one in award. That is going to be the new award on the show, Mike, the first one in award. And Cody does win that today. Congratulations, Code Dog. He says, damn, I pressed on that short reel and it crashed my whole damn phone. that short reel is going to be the death of me.
Good. I'm glad it happened to Cody, and I hope it happens to no one else. That's what you get for being number 1 on the enemy list.
Did you notice I called you limp nut in my beginning thing because I heard you clonking around with that cane?
Dude, I am in a shit ton of pain right now. My left ankle, knee, and my calf is just fucking throbbing right now.
Have you gone to the doctor?
In this economy?
You ought to go. I mean, come on, you're walking around with a cane. If there's at any point, I would say to myself, you know what, it might be time, because I'm a man, I get it. I don't go to the doctor for anything. Yeah. And at some point when it comes to walking with a cane, I mean, you sound like a Clydesdale walking around down there, and dum, 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 like a horse with three feet. Dum, dum, dum.
I do have a third leg. I'm fine. I'll be fine. You know, you gotta battle through the pain. The knee is getting better itself.
You have 3 legs and a little horn, I think is what you meant to say. But
hey ladies, got a little horn for you.
Vegas is my jam. Always great seeing Vegas on the board all the way from Las Vegas. My man, always great seeing you. I hope things are going well for you, sir. I know it's not usually, they usually have these nice hot weather out there in the desert, and we are also sharing in some nice weather as well. Mike, it got up to 81 yesterday, and this week is finally showing signs of hopefully what we're going to be seeing in spring. I mean, it is only April 15th. It's only tax day. Spring was March 20th, so at any time now it could consistently stay spring. That would be fine for me, as we're just right around the corner, Mike. Again, middle of April, if you can believe that. It's unbelievable, because after this, we got May, and then it's going to be summertime. Will not be long now.
Yeah, I'm dreading the heat, but I'm also looking forward to nice clear skies for a little bit.
Absolutely. Cody says, morning, sir. Always great to see the Code Dog in the house. He is, Mike, of course, the early arriver, the first arriver of the day. Let's grab Christophus. My man, Christophus, he says, what's up, Yinzers? Always great seeing Christophus on the terrible board. Hope things are going well for you in Florida. I know there's always good weather down there. Hope it is continuing for you, sir. Let's go to right here, the original OG, Yinzer Joe. I love the name. He says, yeah, what's up, Yinzers? Penis talk? Oops, wrong channel. You just never know. You just never know. Cody says, tell her about me. We sure will, Code Dog. We never leave you out, brother. Big John Stud, middle name Mud, all the way from Las Vegas as well. John says this, Steeler Freak, there is a 20-foot Buddha in an Asian restaurant on the Strip District that looks like Derpy.
Derpy!
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I wonder if it has a hard time making up its mind, too.
Probably.
Tortilla Jackson, all the way from Sacramento, California. All the way from Sacramento, California. Great seeing Tortilla. He says, if we draft Drew Allah, great seeing you, Tortilla. He follows it up by saying, I will move to Cleveland. Ay, ay, ay.
Oof.
Ooh. Ooh. Tyrone in the house. Always great seeing Tyrone. He says JPJ is the GOAT, but I'm going to say, Tyrone, you the GOAT. That's right, baby. Ty is the GOAT in the house. Always great seeing Tyrone. What's up, brother, man? Skiller Freak says this. John, I notice at least 2 people on TV each day that have Beck eyes. It is creepy. And I don't know about for everybody, your communities, but I've noticed something here, Mike, more in the past 10 years than I've noticed my whole life. A lot of people do have crooked eyes anymore. And I don't know if I overlooked it for all these years or this is something new. It's the new fad. But, Mike, there's people with crooked eyes everywhere around here.
Yeah, I don't have crooked eyes. Mine are just squinty. But yeah, I've noticed that too. I noticed more lopsided ears as well. Like everyone's ears are just a little bit, one's a little higher than the other, but it's gotten worse. The symmetry of people's faces has gone downhill. It might just be the area we live in with a lot of, crack and fentanyl and meth. It could be part of it.
I gotta be honest, I've never looked at anybody's ears ever in my life, but I'm gonna take your word on that. Lopsided ears apparently is a big thing. Also, lopsided eyes. Let's go right here to Vegas. He says this: if I had tig old biddies like that, I would be distracted too. Of course, the tig old biddies.
Yeah, I would not be showing Derpy's tig old biddies again.
Just Learning says this: Rogers has a fake wife. He's probably doing fake things right now with her. You never know. Christopher says Vega came in for a visit, guys. Omar Khan has a plan. It's going to be an awesome time in the Berg, especially day 2. Absolutely, Christopher. That's exciting. Again, this is who I'm liking. I would like to see in the first round, but we'll get into that and so much more today. Cody says if we play in Drew Aller, Mike is going to jizz his pants. That I could see, and I don't want to see, and I don't even want to think of.
No. I would do. I don't know what the opposite of jizzing my pants is, but I think that would be my reaction. I hope he goes somewhere and has a long, productive career. I just don't want it to be here. Watching him for 3 or 4 years at Penn State was enough for one lifetime.
And that's the thing. All right, let's just move on. Let's go to Tortilla. Dude, imagine seeing Beck on the big screen and his eyes probably wrap around the room.
See, I see. This is why I'm leading towards Beck as the quarterback of the future. My guy has 360-degree vision. No one will be able to sneak up on him.
And when he went and got his eyes tested, because they do all these tests for the NFL, Mike, they checked his right eye, and they made him come back because the doctor didn't have enough gas in his car to get to the left eye to finish up the checkup. So that is in the works. We're still waiting to hear about his sight. Let's do Scoot on the board right here to Yinzer Joe, where he says this: why are we throwing flowers at every quarterback? We are not Cleveland. Just let it come to us like Ben did. I agree in a sense. I agree. And it's been every quarterback besides Ty Simpson, which I find very interesting. We had, I think, 4 quarterbacks. Now today is the very last day. So if you don't get your visits in today, I think we're at 29. Unless Ty Simpson is the surprise at the end of the day. I don't know this. I do know the Cooper Jr., Mike. Omar Cooper Jr., he's in San Francisco today. He will not be here in Pittsburgh, so that is that. But my Drew Aller here today. Again, a lot of different quarterbacks came in through this through the progress here. And again, none of them Ty Simpson.
None of them Ty Simpson. None of them like that you would say are borderline first-round guys that you trade back up for or maybe snag in the second. These are all guys 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round quarterbacks, developmental quarterbacks. See what something, if there's something there, if you can develop them. I personally, if I'm drafting one of these quarterbacks, Eddie, if they're taken in the 3rd round, I think that is way too fucking high because there's still a lot of premium positions out there that you can draft, or guys out there that are much better than these guys are right now that I think help the team in the future in the long term more than these guys. If you want to, take a developmental quarterback, use your 4th round pick on them. Don't waste any of these top 100 picks on a quarterback. I don't want to see it happen. But if that's their plan and they think they can groom one, I'm really not going to question Mike McCarthy because he has a pretty good track record of getting the most out of these quarterbacks that he can. But it is just intriguing that we're not looking at the guy who was like a borderline first round pick in Ty Simpson.
Yeah, again, I just find it interesting. But again, this all this kind of stuff happens this time of year, Mike. All this rumors, and you don't even know what you hear from what's from the team at this time of year.
Yeah.
You don't know if this is speculation. You don't know if it's a beat writer. You don't know if it's an analyst. You don't know if it's Alan Saunders. You don't know if it's so to the end of the day, there's so many things this time of year that you got to expect this and expect the unexpected and maybe expect the expected in a sense, Mike, because in a way there's some of these things that you just scratch your head and you're saying, what the hell is this even? Why is anybody even saying this?
Yeah.
So again, at the end of the day, it is what it is. There are things good and bad about everything. I think about the draft. That might be one of the things. There's just a lot of fluff when it comes to the draft, certainly leading up to. I mean, there's only so much you could do.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of knowing every single player coming out of college, and because beyond that, it's all prediction, and beyond the first pick, you just don't know. You just don't know. Sometimes.
Just don't know. And there's a lot of like information that gets leaked late from front offices to their sources in the media. And that's when the media goes, oh, this guy's rising up the draft boards, this guy's falling down the draft boards. I was watching interviews like with former scouts, and like the consensus was like, no, we more or less have our board figured out after the combine. It might move a little bit on pro days and interviews, but nothing drastic. And they all said, like, when you hear someone's rising or falling, that's just the media catching up to the actual boards and rankings that a lot of the teams have, the consensus throughout the NFL. So shit ton of smoke screens and a lot of using agents and the media to try and tank someone's status to, hey, I want to swoop right in there and get this guy. So let's talk, say a little bit negative about him, have it leaked from somewhere. Let's see if it spreads and we can drop him down. I saw an interview, I think it was with Hines Ward, saying, this is a business in the NFL and teams will lie, cheat, steal to tank your value just so they can get you at that lower value, not have to trade up and pay you more money.
Speaking of Hines Ward, Mike Hines Ward will be attending the draft, not because he's a big Steeler fan or a big Steeler guy, which he is, Mike, but he's going to be there in support of his wide receiver Jordan Tyson, Mike, who is going to be drafted 8 days from now. Be nice to see Hines. A lot of Steelers, Mike, going to be in town. Coming back for the draft, doing tailgates, all kind of stuff. So if you are planning on attending the draft, there's going to be a lot of stuff. It's going to be a lot to get through with all the people and everything. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of things to do, and it should be pretty enjoyable. So just 8 days till that, Mike. 8 days till the NFL draft.
I can't wait for it to get here. It's going to be so cool seeing so many Steelers coming around. It's like NFL royalty, NFL history walking through Pittsburgh. Will be at the draft. Like we're the third most NFL Hall of Famers, some of the greatest players of all time, all wore black and gold. And it's be cool to see some of them back in town celebrating the city and the franchise.
Tortilla says there's still time for a Ty Simpson buzzer beater. There is. I mean, by the end of the day, who knows? You can see it. We could hang it up at the end of the show and look and see Ty Simpson stopped in. We don't know, but we do know this. We do know that Drew Aller will be in today for a pre-draft visit, Mike. This is one thing that's known for sure. That's 29 of the 30 pre-draft visits we got in. And again, this is the last day. So if there are any buzzer beaters, it does need to be done today with pre-draft visits and the draft just being a little over a week away. Let's get back on the board. I'm going to find where we're at, and we're going to do just that here. Let's go to... right here. Just Learning says this. Went to go watch Dirty Rotten Imbeciles last night. It was punk rocking. Sounds good, man. Also, Somber in the house. Always great seeing Somber. What's up, dude? My man, he says, I'll shit in my gaming chair if they draft Aller in the third.
I was listening to the radio today, and someone's like, yeah, nothing wrong with using gambling on one of your picks for a quarterback in the third round. Like, that's like wasting a pick. Get another wide receiver, get another offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, a corner, a safety. There's so many positions of need that we can fill in the third round. And these, should be the top 100 prospects coming out. You should be able to land 5 of them. Don't waste one on a quarterback project in the 5th round or in the 3rd round.
Absolutely. Let's do Scoot along. I'm sorry, Somber. We got him. Tyrone, my man Ty says, as long as we don't pick quarterback till fifth to seventh round, sure. RB, my man RB, from right here on the team. RB says traditionally McCarthy is leaning toward otherworldly armed talent guys, which is not Ty Simpson. Dude, always great seeing Dude on the board. Dude says, afternoon, fellas. Always great seeing you, my man. Dude, hope all is going well for you. Corey, don't drink that. Corey Beaver says this at Yinzer Joe. I'm not sure what quarterback talent is actually available because I only watch the pros, but all I need to see is arm accuracy and high football IQ. Everything else can be taught with work. Always great seeing Corey on the terrible board. Corey runs a really cool conspiracy theory podcast right here on YouTube. Check it out. It's called Don't Drink That. All kinds of content. Go check Corey out. Tater Tart in the house. It's sometimes nice to see you. There he goes. Tater Tart, welcome. Hope things are going well in your rope. Cody says yuck. I think that's in response to Tater Tart. Tortilla says, yeah, Ty Simpson is too good for McCarthy. Somber says, or I'm sorry, RB says that's somber. What about in the fourth? Somber says this in response. He says, fine, as long as it's not the first 5 picks. Cody says, Drew Aller can play, right?
No.
He led Penn State to one of their worst years in quite some time. But in his defense, the whole team stunk. It wasn't like he was.
The whole team was bad that year.
It wasn't like it was the quarterback that was the problem. Let's go to Cody. Says next to coach. Also, John Steeler Freak says that 25 anticipation can't be taught and not needed in college. Corey, don't drink. That says Somber Tater will buy that gaming chair from you. I tell you what, you make the same deal with one of the lovely ladies from our terrible board. I know that Tater would be all over that. If one of them women took a shit on a chair.
Oh my God, him and who was it yesterday? It was trying hard to flirt with Christine. Was that dude?
No, it was Ronald.
It was Ronald. Right. Yeah. Those him and Tater would be fighting over one of those chairs.
Let's go to Tyrone, not even fourth, waste a pick. Tortilla says Drew Aller plays like Carson Beck's vision. RB says that Corey, even football IQ can be learned with the right amount of coaching and willingness from the player himself. Jamal, my man, gang in the house. Always great seeing Jamal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing him. Man who needs cookies. Man who needs cookies. I love that name. I always need cookies. As a matter of fact, I'm hooked on McDonald's cookies. I notice that you've been buying your children McDonald's cookies, and when they're up in the studio out at the in the kitchen area, I often grab a couple of them. I love McDonald's chocolate chip cookies.
They are good. Like they're best when they're fresh, but the problem is, man, they fall apart. So they just like fall apart, and like my kid freaks out when they fall apart. So it's like, oh my God, yeah, I got to be like very careful to get them out. Otherwise, I got to try and mush it together, and hopefully it cools and sets by the time he goes to grab one.
Man who needs cookies. He used to love to be used as a human toilet. And you know what? That's coincidental because I used to love having human toilets. Man who needs cookies. So
I think we can work out something.
You could just email us right here at Ryan. We could get you all set up. Let's get to Somber. Somber says this. He says, still wouldn't want it, but I wouldn't shit myself. He says, Yinzer Joe, the media keeps disrespecting the Pittsburgh teams, and we prove them wrong. I love it. That's what they do. That is what they do. It's always that way. If you're not a Boston or LA, you don't get that love, and that's what makes me so proud to be a Pittsburgh fan, Mike. Because again, with 5 World Series, 5 Stanley Cups, and 6 Super Bowls, we could put that up against most teams. So let them say what they got to say. It's it never changed my whole life.
Yep.
Never,
look at us. We're all 3 teams. Like the Steelers made the playoffs last year. Penguins are making it this year. Buccos are one of the hottest teams in the league.
Yeah, for sure. And again, very exciting. Like, we have a big bet, of course. We made it interesting. You might be earning my hair The hair, I have it planned out in order because since I'm cutting my hair, my beard, my mustache, and my pubes, and we're going to glue them on your head. If all 4 of the Pittsburgh sports teams get out of the first round, they advance this year. The first leg, Mike, you're earning the hair. So if the Penguins get out of the first round, you have earned the hair. Now, the deal is if they all have to happen, you're not only just going to win one. If all 4 teams get out of the first round, but in essence, you will win the hair. If the Penguins get out of the first round, if the Pirates get out of the first round, Mike, it'll be the beard, the Riverhounds, the mustache, and then, of course, if the Steelers will be the big one, and I would love if it came down to that, Mike. That would be the pubes, and again, we will be gluing them to the top of Mike's head. If all 4 Pittsburgh pro teams get out of the first round of the playoffs this year, the stakes are high.
The stakes are really high. I hope I can wear your pubes on my head.
I'm hoping so too. Steven, I do want to say what's up to Steven. Steven says, hi all. Great to see you on a terrible board, my man. Hope things are good for you. Glad that you're here. Welcome.
What up?
Welcome. Let's go to, I don't know what I'm going to go to. Ty says, gang. Cody says, Drew Aller plays good games versus unranked teams.
Yeah, yes, he, not all the time. Not all the time. Ooh, there's been some bad ones.
Somber did say this. He said, laugh my ass off. Corey says this. He says, at RB, that's true. I just worry that it takes a little longer. I'd rather have a quarterback 1 year away from being a starter and not potentially 2 years. RB, I got you. I'm not a fan of taking one before round 5, but it is what it is if we shore up the offensive line and wide receiver room. Cody says, what's up? What the fuck, Mike? What the fuck, Mike? Cody.
What did I do? What did I do, Cody? What did I do?
You know, I just seen something about that, Cody. Cody says, Ryan, you should get the handlebar doing one. You know, it's cool until it's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, we could have the conversation here and we could make it the biggest thing on the show and we could all love it and I end up doing it. And then I walk outside in the public and there I am with a handlebar mustache fending for myself. I don't know. Again, I mean, it might look cool, but I don't know. I'm insane. And I'll overthink the shit out of it. And again, I'll think everybody's staring at my handlebar mustache for the wrong reasons. So that's why I don't do stuff like that.
That's fair.
And I'm not one of these guys that twist up the end of their mustache and do that twirly thing. I don't know. I'm just not. But it's a cool idea. It is a cool idea. Let's scoot along a little bit. We have a lot to get into today. Let's get to this right here. Just Learning says, I have a brown bag special for Browns fans from Sonic. Yeah, baby. Tater Tart. He says, Grandpa still keep you waiting. He still get us better records than them Cleveland Browns. I do know that.
Yes, he does.
Let's go to, yes, absolutely, Vegas. Old Rolly Fingers for sure. With that mustache. Ty says, Tater, what you guys paying massage therapists again? Somber says, who's your quarterback again, Tater? The Diddler. they have a gang of tards up there in Cleveland. You know what I mean? They picked Dylan Gabriel, who couldn't keep the position. He was picked. They were hoping to be the starter. Shador Sanders, obviously, that whole joke is going on, and then Deshaun Watson. Like it's a plethora of idiocy. The quarterback room in Cleveland.
It is, and I love every second of it. It's a thing of beauty up there or down, up there. How they're just fucking everything up.
Cody says, "Good. I'm glad you're in pain. I hope you have to jack it with your left hand, Mike."
Hey man, that's like someone else coming to the jacket for you. That's even better.
I don't know. I use my left hand. I don't know. Let's go to, and I'm not left-handed. I just want to throw that out there. Somber, who your quarterback? Okay, we did get that. Cody, Corey says this at Tater Rogers is keeping us waiting, but we could still win more games than Cleveland with if Mount Washington was quarterback, is what he's saying. I wish they would put him at quarterback one time. Run a wildcat with Big Darnell.
That'll be fucking great.
Just let him rumble and stumble and bumble through everybody. I think that would be fantastic. You know how they have them plays at the end of the game with the the laterals. If you're losing, on a kickoff, you just keep lateraling it around.
Yeah.
Like do one of them and then get it to Darnell Washington and see how many people it takes to drag him down. And then once he pulls all 11 guys and just have him pitch it away and lateral it and we'll score. Let's go right here to Ty. No, let's scoot up Ty. Got that. Tortilla says this. Put some candles on your lead and Mr. Miyagi that shit. Wax on, wax off, Mike.
I probably could. I probably should.
Tater says this. 100% legal Tyrone. RB. He says at Corey, I get that, but I'm on the thinking of let a guy sit 2 seasons, but that's all me. But in a lot of quarterback evaluations, I do some things similar. I watch footwork, mechanic, eye movement, and RPM and final location. I don't know. Is that all supposed to go together? I'm not sure. But let me scoot past Corey just for a second and get to Christophus. Christophus right here says this. The Berg is going to be on fire. I'm jealous of you Yinzers. Wish I could be there with you guys and gals. You know what? I wish you were here too. I wish everybody from the show could be here. I wish everybody from the board could be here.
I know it'd be awesome.
It'd be a party, man. And again, what I believe we're gonna have representation down there all 3 days. And still, again, we're planning it out. We're all I don't know. Derpy's planning it out. We could figure out pretty quick how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna be honest, and we could have it all figured out. But as long as Derpy's involved, this is going to come down to the last day, the last hour, the last minutes.
Because he constantly changes it, man.
He does. And that's the thing. That's why you can't get involved with him.
No, because it'll be set that it's like he throws out 45 different scenarios.
That's exactly the problem with him. That's why I can't get involved with him in that capacity. You got to put something out there and kind of let him go through his process. He has a process. And it's his own process. And again, I don't know if he's talking to his mother. I don't know if he's talking to whoever he's talking to, his dad. But at the end of the day, it's always this process. And you're just trying to figure out. And I just got to the point, Mike, where I realize with him now what I have to do. I just ignore him.
Yeah.
Entirely. It's almost been a week now since Friday this has been going on with him. And here we are, Mike, on a Wednesday. I'm still, it's changed this morning. Every day I wake up, it's something different. I get on my phone this morning and the very first thing I see is, well, can I just come with you on Thursday? And yesterday the resolve was he's going to go Friday. I was going to go Thursday, but he was going to do every day it changes, Mike. So I'm not getting involved with him. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's whole tough.
I'm going to look at the very last message he sends before I go. And I'm just going to go with that. If he says, okay, I'm going to meet you here, then you know what, that's going to be the plan.
Yeah, that's the smart move when it comes to the derpster.
John says this. He says, you must hold a bucket of KFC in front of Derpy to get him to lock in.
It might not be a bad idea.
Oh, man, I could go for a bucket of chicken. We did have a bucket last week. I did mention, Mike, because you're on your diet. And we've been eating a lot more for whatever reason.
But I'm not the one who got the chicken. I did not eat any.
All right. Did you get the pizza?
I did get the pizza.
How about the McDonald's?
I did not get the McDonald's.
The day that was just me and you here, I think.
Okay, that was different. Okay, that was
all right. That
was different.
Let's do scoot along on the board here. Let's go to Somber. He says insane tortilla. Tyrone says right legal. Vegas 67 in high wind advisory right now, and I like them high wind advisories. I like the rain. I like the high wind. I like all the. I don't know. It's all so comforting. Let's go right here. Yinzer Joe, no wonder you're having problems, Mike. It's undersized. Boy, is it undersized. I keep hearing.
Yeah, gets the job done.
That one-legged, three-toothed lady down at the bridge always tells me about Mike's undersized problem.
Yeah, but she smiles every time she sees me, baby.
Because she has no teeth. She just looks like she's smiling all the time. John says this anticipation requires confidence in what the eyes are showing and knowing where to place the ball in a 1 foot window at a split second. That is NFL QBing. RB, he says, to me, if a guy can't maintain high RPMs on a college football, he's for sure not going to with an NFL ball. Aaron Jade, my man. Always great seeing Aaron in the Here We Go with the Rockets. Mike, you can't have Wednesday.
Day is complete, baby.
You can't have a day without Aaron doing that, and you can't have a Wednesday, of course.
I said hump everything. What? Too much.
It is hump day, guys. We're working our way. We're at the top of the hill. We're heading to the downside of the hill for the week. And again, only 8 days from the NFL draft, if you could believe it, guys. And again, hopefully in that 8 days, we hope to learn something about our quarterback. Getting some word possibly from Aaron Rodgers could be wonderful. And again, Mike, for Steeler fans just going into the draft, yes, being excited because the draft's here. Yes, being excited because you're going to get more draft pick. You're going to get players. And 3, if Aaron Rodgers could come through with that announcement sometime in the next 8 days, I think Pittsburgh is going to be pretty happy as the Penguins are playing in the playoffs against the Flyers, as the Pirates are looking good, off to a good start, Mike. Aaron could really blow the roof off of Pittsburgh, if you will, and give us that announcement sometime in the next 8 days. We'll be on top of the world here at Pittsburgh. Just that the peace of mind of knowing, because that's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you some things that some teammates of Aaron said here, Mike, from the Steelers. But it's the peace of mind just to know. And again, I think that would keep the morale of the troops up. It would keep the morale of Steeler Nation up. And as we were saying, Mike, and you're seeing it play out. And a lot of people that do come here and hang out on the show with us, they do realize that the NFL is a year-long business, and it goes all year round. And I love it. I love this process. I don't even know where I was going with that. I started talking about it.
Neither do I. You weren't talking about Aaron Rodgers to the process.
Yeah.
You went all over the place. You pulled a derpy, my friend.
So yeah, go ahead and help me out of that. Dig me out of that, would you?
No, I want to watch you squirm. And this was kind of fun, actually. On my
I'll remember that. And,
that's fair enough.
I'll get you in the next half hour. I promise.
Oh, you probably will, because my ADD is going to kick in.
But anyway, the point I was trying to make was that they could really, it could really be big news.
Yeah,
here in the next 8 days if he does make his announcement, Mike. And what I was saying, part of that is the football season goes all the year round. So I mean, getting us excited in April is a little bit bigger than most people would think. They're like, well, it's football, who cares? It's not even football season. But again, Steeler fans, they like their football, and they like to follow it all year round. So Aaron can make a lot of people happy, not just on top of, again, like having the draft here in Pittsburgh. That's super exciting. Getting draft picks, which is super exciting. And again, if he can make that announcement sometime in the next 8 days, we will be happy. Happy here in Western PA. Let's get back on the board right here to something. All right, right here. RB says this: RPMs are way more important than people think. Like, say, Kenny, his arm wasn't so much small, just his tiny hands couldn't create grip and couldn't generate constant RPM, which leads balls. Cody says Carson Beck looks like Billy the Kid. William, what's his name? William Bonney.
William Bonney,
Billy the Kid.
Young Guns, great movie.
Never seen it.
Oh,
RB says this: to get wild, float, sink, nosedive, drastically hang, get caught in the winds. Let's see what else we got going on. Oops. Right here, Steeler Freak says, I want derpy on my jury if I'm ever trying to beat a murder rap.
God, no.
It'll be, I mean, if anybody could bring a hung jury, it could be able to be derpy.
God, we would never see you again. Derpy would convince everyone to give you the death penalty.
Vegas says, how are the new crackheads in 2026? I'm going to be honest. I've noticed, Mike, I've said this the other day, in nearby cities where there's generally a lot of people, they're just not around anymore. I don't know what's going on. I obviously bring it back to the technology and everything that we use as entertainment. We basically all just sit there and stare at a screen for 24 hours. But Mike, the crack whores aren't even out anymore, and the crackheads and the hookers, I don't see anybody out anymore. It's insane.
No, it's like if you want to go find your crack whore, you have to go on to these weird, obscure websites to find them. Like they're listing themselves. I know this because my buddy works in IT and he has to block all these sites from people that work at these companies. He's like, "What the hell are you people doing in your off hours?" She's like, "I don't care. Just don't use the company computer to set it up." And that's where you can find some of these people.
And Mike, like I said, you don't see anybody. These streets used to be just crawling with crackheads. It was like they were like
Yeah.
roaches.
Oh, I'm glad they're not out and about anymore. It's it does suck for like the entertainment value.
They would hide in the shadows, and then you'd walk by. And next thing you know, they were right beside. They were just. It was always an adventure. Always an adventure.
Yeah, I my buddy was telling me stories about him tossing crackheads when he was younger. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. They're like, hey man, can I get a buck? I'm like, no, you can throw me. Okay. And they see how far they can throw the crackhead and give them a couple bucks.
We used to F with them. They because the thing about crackheads, they stare at the ground constantly. They're always looking for little what they call crumbs, and it's like what people drop of crack.
Yeah.
So what we used to do, I used to work at this bakery for a while, and we used to put little we'd take flour and wrap it in little saran wrap, and we'd tie it in a knot, and we would drop it like we'd walk up the sidewalk, drop it, and then we would do when we were on break, we would sit there on our chairs right outside the door, and you would watch crackheads. Somebody, they would stop. Some of them would see it because again, constantly looking at the ground, looking for stuff to pick up. They would go right over. They sometimes you see them walk past it, and then they come right back to it, grab it, look around, see if anybody was looking. We used to. It was an overnight shift, and that was the best part. There was just crackheads everywhere.
Yeah,
and we used to F with them crackheads hardcore, man. We did.
Oh, ought to be young again.
I'm telling you, man. Let's get back on the board right here. Let's get to Carson Buscemi. Tortilla says Carson Buscemi. I like this one here. It's pretty funny. Tortilla says Carson Beck looks like he looks out of the ear holes of his helmet. I like that. Carson Sloth Beck. Somber says we should send Rossini Tater's way. They're both lonely.
Ooh, nice.
Let's go to right here where Corey says at RB, I noticed that with Kenny, his passes were wobbly a lot of the time, and when he was able to grip it well enough, he would bomb it. It was wildly inaccurate and often got picked or way over open receivers. John Steeler Freak says this: there were a lot more British folks with that slow-ass, lazy talking accent on American TV. We kicked their ass twice and bailed them out twice. That weak-ass accent does not impress me, he says. RB, he says this. RB says at Corey, yep, there's always been my secret to quarterbacks. It's not the end all to be all, but for sure, if a guy can't generate RPMs and do it consistently, he's not going to be shit. Yinzer Joe, Omar Cooper doesn't need to have a visit. Adam Henry is very familiar with him. He is in San Francisco today. I do know that. He will not be here. Cody says Drew Alla, Big Ione, all these Penn State guys, Mike. We keep going this way, we're gonna have a shitty team just like Penn State did. How you gonna have a shitty team and take all their players and expect good things to happen?
Well, as long as we get Vega, the only good player, I'll be happy. Drew can go somewhere else. Give me Vega. Oh, hell, I'll even take one of the two running backs in the safety. But no Drew Aller.
Tortilla says real G's move in silence like Ty Simpson. Is that true, Yinzer Joe? Is this true information about true G's? I want to know.
I don't know. That's the word from Tortilla.
The word from Christophus is this. He says, Ty says Ty Simpson listens to YB draft him 21. Christophus says this. I'm a fan of the U. Carson Beck or Drew Aller in the 5th round is okay for me. That
wouldn't be too bad for a developmental quarterback in this draft. 5th round is perfect for one of those guys.
I just don't get it. I mean, are we trying to just, like I said, we were mentioning, Mike, are we just trying to get as many quarterbacks as we can and just have them duke it out? I mean, because here's the thing. So we're the big plan is wait around until next year, like a lot of teams are with the big quarterback draft coming. So, I mean, we drafted a quarterback last year. We drafted a quarterback this year. We have a backup quarterback. We have Aaron Rodgers comes back a starting quarterback, and we're planning on grabbing a quarterback next year. This is really feeling really Clevelandish to me, Mike. Is that the plan? Is that the goal?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be like if they draft one of these guys, anticipating. Let's say if Aaron Rodgers comes back, you're probably going to see Mason Rudolph traded or cut. And if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, you're going to probably see Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and the rookie battle it out for the starting spot. Like that would be the thing right there. And if one of those two younger quarterbacks wins it out and they show out and play well, then you might not have to draft a quarterback next year. Like we've been saying all along, I would be perfectly fine with letting a young quarterback run the show because you're going to find out that does this guy have it or does he not have it? Because you're in a pretty good situation with this team.
I understand what you're saying, and I listen. I like it, and I think it's a good concept. But would you be okay with that being Will Howard? Have it be the case he wins the competition?
Yeah, if he goes out and wins it, let's rock and roll with him. And,
Okay.
Because if he wins and he plays,
I just know you.
Yeah.
I just know you.
I know, no. I like once you're on my team, I don't care where you went to college. I want the best out of you because you're on my team. But if you do bad, I will talk shit on you because you went to a college I didn't like.
Yeah.
But if you do well, I'm going to root and support you. And I want all the guys on the team to do well. So if it's Will Howard, I'm gonna want him to do well. But when they fuck up, I'll be extra critical because I'm a hypocrite.
Mike, also we are gonna talk a little bit about the Big Ten. Kevin Colbert. I don't know what Ohio State's up to, but they're hiring Kevin Colbert, Mike, as well as Arthur Smith. Now I know that you never really loved Kevin Colbert. You always have your fair share to say about him at the end of the day. Mike, what do you think about this new Ohio State program again with Arthur Smith and Kevin Colbert, the former GM of the Steelers?
For me, like Kevin Colbert lost his fastball a long time ago. Like he had some amazing drafts, damn good drafts to where he earned the right to be called one of the best GMs in football. Well, I want to say his last 10 drafts. 10 to 7 have been shit, and why a team would want to come back and bring him in if he's been out of the game that long, I don't see it. I don't see it because I think the game has passed him by, and his talent evaluation has passed him by.
I think it's hard to tell. Let's see what he could do at Ohio State. Let's go to right here. I would blow off Rodgers, draft a quarterback, and let the two rookies show what they have with Mason as a backup. That won't ever happen. However, that was from John, the Steeler freak out in Las Vegas. Let's go to Vegas. He says, what is your RAS score? Ty says, cut Mason and Harrison. Cody, he says, I am a U fan too. I watch Abella Danger. I became a fan of Abella Dangers this year. Mike, I got to be honest. A lot of these actresses, the names, you see them around. We're men, we're it's not our first rodeo, but that was the first time I ever really paid attention and seen Abella Danger. She is pretty hot down at the Miami National Championship game.
Yeah, she was hot. I was smitten.
Let's go to I bet you do, Cody, is what Ty says. Tyrone says Cody the GOAT. Corey, don't drink that. He says it's from the 19 jabs. It fucked with a lot of people's bone structures. You know what? I'm still alive. I never got that. Let's move on. Steeler Freak John, he says, this speaking of NFL income, I knew the microscope would come for the NFL with its greedy contracts. Corey, don't drink that. So the opposite of jizzing in your pants is popping your own wiener.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
And he follows it up by saying, don't look it up. I was going to ask, but now you know what? I'm just going to move forward. Tater says this, Tate is going to be awesome in Cleveland. You know what's funny about people that's never been here? You don't realize that there's nothing awesome in Cleveland. Because Tater lives across the pond. He's over in Ireland, Mike. He's European. And if you don't know, if you've never been here, you just don't understand, I guess, that people just don't care about. There's nothing awesome in Cleveland. There's just not.
No, there is not.
Out of all the amazing cities and places and things that we have here, why Cleveland? Why?
I
That's always going to be a head scratcher to me.
He's an enigma.
Let's go to Cody. Cody says Ty Simpson actually reads the field great. Who was saying it, Mike? Every quarterback. Who was saying that he feels like Kenny Pickett? Somebody was mentioning in the media that Ty Simpson kind of feels like Kenny Pickett.
I don't know. I don't. I really don't agree with that.
I don't either, because Ty Simpson wasn't in the running for the Heisman, was he?
No, he was not. And Ty
He
Simpson
didn't win a national championship either, did he? Or he didn't win the conference championship either.
No, and he only started 1 year down there. Kenny started a lot of years. I don't see the comparison at all between the two.
All right, let's move on. Let's go to Cody. Cody says Ty Simpson actually reads the field great. Okay, we got that. John Steeler Freak says this: as long as the North is open stadiums, the Steelers quarterback requires an arm that can handle the elements.
Mm-hmm. That's why McCarthy said he wants an AFC North style quarterback.
Let's go right. So you're saying that you felt Ty Simpson would be a candidate for the Heisman and a conference championship winner given a couple more years?
I don't know.
Listen, I'm not looking at the comparison. I'm just trying to think.
No. I know. I just don't see
I'm just trying to realize where you're at with Ty Simpson.
I just don't think he's a good quarterback, and I was never Kenny had a great senior year, but their playing style, I don't see the similarities of their play style. So I don't know where that's came from. And Kenny was an older prospect. I think Ty's a little bit younger coming out.
And had they had COVID, he would be a 1 year older as well. So all these arguments you could, there's a lot of things, but again, definitely not a Kenny argument day. But I was just trying to.
I'm
just trying to test your waters on what you're feeling with Ty, because again, at the end of the day, Mike, 29 out of the 30 visits in Ty Simpson has not been one of them. And as much as we've heard about him, I think they're just messing with Cleveland. I'm going to be honest with you, because they know that Cleveland will just run out and grab a quarterback because we say we're going to get it. And, at the end of the day, if that's what happens, I am going to enjoy it thoroughly and enjoy all your quarterbacks up there in Cleveland as you continue to finish in last place again for 40 straight freaking years.
Yeah, that was just weird that someone would say that. It's just, that's a head scratcher for me.
I know. I don't agree either. I think we disagree for different reasons, but we both definitely don't agree with that. Let's go right here to Vegas. He says, any chance to sign Dexter Lawrence? I would love to sign Dexter Lawrence. I mentioned yesterday my off-season wish list, Mike, and we're not going to get any of them. But Dexter Lawrence, A.J. Brown, and Joe Burrow were my three. If we would have those three, we're winning a Super Bowl this year. But again, I don't think that there is a chance on Dexter Carter, unfortunately.
Dexter Lawrence, yeah, I don't either. It could be a ploy that he's trying to get a lot of money.
Yeah, and he's going to get it. So, somebody's going to give him a lot of money. Vegas says after a trade, of course. Yinzer Joe, all the quarterback prospects after Mendoza are late round picks. I'd be okay with taking a quarterback in the 4th or 5th round pick on a QB. Tyrone, I hope for Tate's sake he doesn't go to the shit franchise.
Right.
Tortilla, Ty Simpson is your favorite quarterback's favorite quarterback. Ty says this. He says Ty Simpson is the real perfect timing at Tater. You know what? I would love if he ended up going to Cleveland.
That'd be fucking phenomenal.
Because they think we're going to take him at 21, so they hurry up and they draft him. And I don't know. To me, that would be great. I hope that happens. Tater, Mike, I'm going to have to turn this to you. I don't think that this is going to happen, but Tater says Penguins one and done. Canes for the cup. Canes are still trying to catch up to us with those cups, so good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck, Godspeed. Penguins are going all the way.
John, the Steeler Freak says running crisp routes and being exactly where the quarterback expects one to be at the split second for the ball placement consistently is a craft many wide receivers and quarterbacks are lacking and needed in the NFL. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Let's get to some topics, guys, as we are here on the board, or as we trying to get through the board today, keeping up the pace. Mike, we're doing pretty well, I do think. Let's get some topics here. Of course, Drew Aller, the big news today. Maybe not big news, but it is the news. The news today, Drew Aller, of course, the quarterback of Penn State, is in town. He is going to be the 29th of the 30th pre-draft visits for the Steelers, Mike. Drew Aller, Ty Simpson with one pre-draft visit left. Ty Simpson still has not made it here to Pittsburgh. All the talk you've heard, every speculation, it all seemed to come back to Ty Simpson in a lot of cases when you're talking Steeler football, drafting here in Pittsburgh. Mike, Ty Simpson, again, at the end of the day, does it it's kind of baffling that not even a visit with Ty Simpson for me. Even if they don't plan on drafting him, I don't know, because the smoke screen they're sending with some of these other quarterbacks that they're not going to draft. Why wouldn't you want to talk to the guy that is possibly a possibility, or maybe he's just no possibility at all, and we're again just digging for stories, and Ty Simpson comes up a lot.
Yeah, that could be it right there, because I don't even think they met with him at the draft, or they maybe just a cursory visit with him, but it seems like they have the a mold of a quarterback they want to look for and take a look at, and he's just not fitting that format, that framework of quarterbacks. So I think I think he's on there like pay no mind list. Like, no, we don't envision him playing in our offense, and up here in like the AFC North, we want guys who have big arms, and they probably think he does not have that tool set. And I think it's like a lot of media just generating all the Steelers need a quarterback. Oh, look, he's the number 2 consensus guy on the board. So obviously Pittsburgh's going to want him, kind of like last year. A lot of people saying, oh, the Steelers got to go get Shador. If he's there at pick 20, whatever we picked last year, you got to get him. You have
he was there in the 9th friggin' round.
Oh, you got to get him in the 2nd round. Oh, you got to get him in the 3rd round. And the same thing's going to happen with Ty Simpson and all these.
Like he was in he made it all the way to the 9th round in a 6th round draft.
Exactly. And what a lot of it is, like the national media, like they're disconnected from all these teams. And so they don't see what we see of what the Steelers have been doing with Con and Weedle, of reshaping the roster on the fly to build it to where you can more or less plug and play your style of quarterback in, if they have, those developmental traits that you want. And, Mike McCarthy's coming in, and he has his framework for a quarterback that he wants in his offense in Pittsburgh. And it's looking like Ty Simpson does not fit any of those parameters. So he's probably not even on their draft board at this point.
Drew Aller today in for a visit. No Omar Cooper Jr., Mike. He's in San Francisco today, and today is the last day. Today is the last day for pre-draft visits, Mike. This was said... Carson, and the only reason I grabbed this, Mike, is because of the headline. This next headline I'm going to read to you. Carson Beck, real interest there. Steelers have bullseye on Beck, beat writer says. Mike, what's the chances they use a word like bullseye in a guy that has the eyes like Carson Beck?
That is spot on, top notch. Whoever wrote that, chef's kiss. I like that. It was perfect. It's beautiful. Like Carson Beck, my only knock on him, he's 24, going to probably be 25 during the season. That, to me, that's a bit old for a quarterback. You're wanting to.
Old.
I know. It's just an old.
If a guy is 1 year older than everybody else, I don't care. I mean, what are you going to do? You're probably going to get rid of the guy after a contract anyway. I don't know.
I know. I just like having like those guys that are younger, so you can groom them, and finally they get that contract, and they're going to be here longer. It's just it might just be like the numbers thing in my head, putting out on a time scale the way I'm seeing it.
Right.
It's just a personal preference, and that happens in all evaluations. But that's just my thing. One of my big things with Carson Beck, you're 24 going up against dudes that are 18, 19, 20 years old, and you're a fucking grown-ass man. They're still kids.
I don't think there's going to be many guys that are going to be 18 and 19, but point taken.
You know what I mean.
Well, I mean, if that was your point, then
shut up.
Again,
you know what? Look,
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing over there. I'm on to you. I am on to you.
I'm punchy and I'm fighty today. I'm sorry.
Let's go right here, Mike. Alabama's Caden Proctor. They're saying now if they would play him at guard, he could be a day one starter, perhaps. Of course, Caden Proctor from Alabama, day one starter for the Steelers if they played him at guard. Is he a possibility?
He could be a possibility. I know, teams have been looking at him more at guard just because his scouting reports I read on like foot speed and short arms. You don't want that the short arms at tackle, which is a lot of teams don't like that. That if you're gonna have short arms, you're best to be inside. Like, I haven't watched a whole lot of him because I thought he was like nowhere on the Steelers' radar, but he's been creeping up into the discussions. I just don't think he's going to be one of those picks for us because I'm looking at the they did meet with him at the combine, but that was the only time they talked to him. And I think the guys that we talked at the combine and with the top 30, I think you're going to figure out those might be your guys taken in the first 2 rounds for sure. And I think Proctor would only be taken if like all the receivers are gone and a lot of the high-end linemen are gone. He might be okay, we can draft him and see what he can do at guard for us.
Yeah, man.
I just haven't watched a whole lot on him, so I don't know. And stuff I've read, it's
you
gone
figure
back
with all
and
the
forth.
Ty Simpson highlights everybody's been watching, they would have a good opinion on Proctor, right? Let's go to this one, Mike. This is one that I kind of found interesting here. There's something I'm going to pull up. Just give me a moment on our friend Darnell Savage. Of course, Mike, he still isn't signed yet.
Yeah.
He was an off-season move that we made. He is the one that did not sign. He's still hanging out, Mike, and for a couple reasons, I think this is interesting. Let me ask you this. Now, there's a lot of talk about the safety position being a position of need in the draft. I mean, this keeps coming up over and over and over with the safety, regardless of having Brisker and Elliott coming back. I'm going to get to Elliott in just a second. Jalen Ramsey, of course, you're going to be able to move him in different ways. Now, Darnell Savage, is this going to play out, Mike, where the draft dictates what we do with Savage, or is it going to dictate, or is it going to be the way that, or is it going to be vice versa? Are we going to pick a safety and then Savage is going to know whether he's going to sign or not, or is it going to affect the way that we draft, knowing that we have this person sitting there? You're probably not going for a safety in the first 3 rounds. It maybe in the 3rd round with all those picks. But Mike, where does Darnell Savage fit into this situation? Because again, he's still hanging in the balance. We don't know what's going on, but still not signed. So that could fill a safety room. But I understand there's a need for the position as well. How do these two things play together?
If we draft a safety, it really doesn't preclude us from bringing him in, just because you're looking at your safety depth. It's not as robust as like you think right off the top, because you don't know what true position Jalen Ramsey is going to play, and we still don't have a definitive answer on Deshaun Elliott's health. I know he's saying he's feeling better. He thought he's going to have a Nick Chubb type situation, but is he going to be ready for the season? And really, like, your safeties are right now, or what, Jaquan Brisker and Jalen Ramsey, if he's going to play true safety. Then after that, you got Elliott, who's still going to be out injured, and Sebastian Castro and Jack Henderson. That's the safety room right there. So if you draft a safety, then add Savage and Elliott comes back, and it flushes, that room's fleshed out more. So drafting a safety should not preclude us from finishing a contract with Darnell Savage if he can pass his, medical. Because that seems to be
let me get all that information. Sorry. Yeah, no, you're 2 players ahead here. Let me get back to Savage. Mike, this is what was said. Signing Savage, actually, let me go right here. So it was reported that the defender is currently going through a drawn-out medical process, talking about Darnell Savage with the franchise, but something else might be going on behind the closed doors that no one knows about. If the Steelers draft a safety to pair with the trio under contract, that might not leave rooms for Savage, who's a veteran at the age of 28. So that's why I was just kind of wondering if that was all going to play together. And Somber's saying it on the board, it has nothing to do with one or the other. One's strong safety. He's a strong safety. So again, I was just kind of curious what your thoughts on were that, because he's not, whether it is this medical issue or whatever is going on with him. Again, we have a bunch of safeties when it comes to names on paper, but at the end of the day, you start to realize how that's not the case. And also, let's go free safety. Sorry, Steele. Let's go right here too. This is the news on Deshaun Elliott. Deshaun Elliott's, I'm almost there, he says, and quote, I have an appointment tomorrow with my docs back in Dallas. So he should give me, it's going to be a good update. He said, I've been working on it out in training. By the time camp rolls around, I should be ready to play ball. I might work out during mini camp, probably. We'll see. Of course, Elliott sustained the injury against the Green Bay Packers after getting his knee landed on at the end of a play. He said his hyperextended knee, and though it remained structurally intact, he tore his hamstring right off of the bone.
Oh, see, I didn't know about the hamstring part.
So, so there you go. A lot of safety talk, Mike. Again, in theory, we have a lot of safeties.
Yeah.
And when people say, well, we got to get a safety, they might not understand. That is why I wanted to talk about that today, Mike, just to clear that air.
Yeah. And like, I know a lot of people on the board are high on Sebastian Castro, but undrafted rookie free agent, didn't see any time until like the tail end of the year when guys started getting hurt. So I'm not putting any of my eggs in his basket. I'd snag someone in the third round. You can get like a Bud Clark in the third round, Ramsey, Wheatley. There's safeties available out there in the draft that I would take a look at.
You know what? Let's jump back on the board. It's been a while. I don't want to get too far behind. Let's go right here to Cody. Cody says, Ryan, you should get a handlebar mustache. That beer shit hard. We did talk about that already. Tortilla says this of Ty Simpson if Ty Simpson was Aller's size, everyone would be obsessed with him like Howard. Tyrone says, good Tate Tortilla. Take maybe. Let's go to Somber. Somber says it's cool until you eat a meal. Vegas says the old Raleigh fingers mustache. Vegas, don't disrespect the Pro Bowler, he says. Christopher, I prefer Jordan Tyson over Mekhi Lemon at 21, but I would settle for a guard like Vega, Fanu, or Pregon.
Pregon in the first round? If you want to go, I don't know, that might be a bit of a reach.
Oh, point taken.
But no, like I like him. Don't get me wrong. It all depends on like who's there and everything.
Let's go to Sosh. What's up, Sosh? Always great seeing Sosh on the terrible board all the way from Switzerland. Sosh, great to see you as always. Hope things are going well for you. Dude says using your left is like getting strange. It was a skill that I learned when I broke my hand back in 2010. I mean, there's just no way to do it with your hand when it's broken. I learned to use my left, and I got to be honest, one of the most important things I've learned in my life. Let's move on here to Steeler Freaky says, I want Presbyterian defensive lineman named Clitoris. And I do want to take a moment just to say, I want to say welcome to Christine. Great to see you back on the terrible board. Christine says, hey, Ryan, Vanilla, and wonderful chat. Always great seeing Christine. Tyrone says 8 motherfucking days, man. That's right. 8 days. That's right. The NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, PA, in Western PA, Mike. 8 days. If you can believe that. 1 week from today, we're going to be on the eve of the NFL draft here in Pittsburgh, and it's ramping up. I got to be honest, Mike, everything down on the North Shore is being worked on and being prepared, and they even cut down 100 trees for this, so it better be big.
It better be big. I've seen some of the pictures of it as it being constructed. It looks big, but will it be big enough to hold Derpy if he makes it down there?
I highly doubt it. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says this: what will the residents of the Berg say about the draft the Monday after? Will they want it back? What will the residents of the Berg say about the draft Monday after? Will they want it back? With the trees? I'm not sure. I just know that it's going to be very. They're canceling school. It's a big thing. The government's trying to figure out the safety plans, and they're canceling school and buses and all the transportation to transport 750,000 people around town.
It's going to be a logistical nightmare.
It really will be. But you know what? It's going to happen. Just 8 days, Mike, 8, 9, and 10 days from now, the NFL draft, of course. Everybody's super excited about it. Let's go to Vegas. He says, send Derpy to sleep under the stage like Hornswoggle. From a shillelagh, have him walking around under there.
That'd be fucking great.
And Tyrone says this, Mike. He says, no Taco Bell, Mike.
No Taco Bell. No, I love me some Taco Bell, but I have not had Taco Bell in a long time. I did make homemade tacos the other day.
You did. They were friggin' scrumptious. I got to admit.
I am a damn good cook. I'm just gonna throw that.
All right. What are you gonna do with that? Because you're limp nut now. You walk around with that cane. How are you gonna be a cook if you can't run to the fridge and run to the stove and grab this with this hand and stir this with that hand? I mean, what are you gonna do?
I got to. I can figure this out, man. I'm not an invalid.
You gotta go to the doctor.
It's just sore after today was a long day, a lot of walking.
But what about last week when it hurt every day? I mean, you're saying it's just sore today. I mean, you're walking around with a cane.
I'll be fine.
You want me to go? You want me to go with you? You want me to make the appointment?
Will you hold my hand?
I'll make the appointment.
I'm afraid to go whatever doctor you take me. They probably fucking cut my leg off.
Somber says this: Simpson on his way to Arizona. Simpson on his way to Arizona.
I just want to hold on, pause a second here. I said they'll probably cut my leg off, and you just blew right by it. Like, yeah, that's going to be the
that was what I was assuming was going to happen. So I don't know what the big surprise is.
That is fucked up, bro.
Into Joe, he says this is Derpy making plans with Peaches to go to the draft. You know what? Who knows? I don't know what he's doing. I just know that he's making me nuts with this.
Can we afford to have Aunt Peaches there? The amount of STDs that she would spread.
I can't keep up. Like I said, I'm just going to wait till the very last day. And whatever he says he's doing, I'm just going to roll it because it really, for one, doesn't have much bearing on what I'm doing. It's more on him. So again, if he says he's taking the bus from Newcastle downtown, he's taking the bus from Moon to downtown, wherever the case is. But he's just always asking me these questions like, is there places to park in Moon? I don't know.
I don't know.
How many times have I had to ride a bus from Moon Township down to the draft?
Right.
You know what I mean? I have no clue. These answers at Derby, what do I know?
He wants to what is the wind condition going to be that day? What's the dew point going to be? He needs all the variables.
I just get on the computer and talk about football for a couple hours. What are you asking me for? I don't know. Come on. Mark Malone, my man. Always great seeing Mark Malone on the board. Terrible board. All pro, if you will. Mark Malone. He says Beck knows how to one eye and anticipate. There it is.
There it is.
Listen, I'm not perfect, but his Adam's apple looks like a bookshelf, don't it?
Dude, I hope we draft him.
You can put something on that bitch. Let's do scoot along right here to right here. No, that's not it. What am I doing? What am I looking for? Where are we at? What planet am I on, Mike?
I don't know. What did you smoke today?
John said this. Ryan treats Derpy like a girl that does a fixer upper, always hoping the light will come on. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it is. I often wonder, and as I said, that's why I don't mess with Derpy. I just kind of let him do what he does, and then the last day comes around. I said, "All right, what are you doing?" He's like, well, I'll come to Moon. We'll park there and I'll ride down with you. You don't have to ride down with me. You know what I mean? Just be there.
Just show up.
What do you
at a designated location?
We're gonna all sit on one bench together in the butt with me, you and your dad. We're all gonna sit on the same. You know what I mean? Figure it out.
That's your protege.
Ty says this, where my ribbon at? I just got out 2-week Taco Bell rehab after work. I'm back. All right, man, that deserves certainly at least this or this. I don't know what it's buffering. It's buffering. There it is. Way to ruin the mood.
Well, somehow that's going to be my fault. I just know it.
Oh, it sure is.
Let's go to Cody. Okay.
Cody says, I'm not sure, Tyrone, but I think they give out coins. Christopher says, is it possible that your restaurants and bars can run out of beer, wings, pizza, and burgers by the end of the day, too? You know what? I mean, of course it's possible. But you would think, I would like to think that people have enough intelligence to plan accordingly. I mean, again, on a Steelers Sunday, you got 60,000 people, which is a lot of people down on the North Shore, which is pretty packed. Now you're going 750,000. So again, I would hope Christopher say would plan accordingly. But again, I can't guarantee that I could. People, you know how things are these days. Dude, I can easily see a big problem happening.
Oh man, imagine like Because you got to plan that shit out months in advance to have your orders set up and ready to go. You got to anticipate that you're going to see this massive influx on a whole damn logistical nightmare all around. Glad I don't have to plan for that bullshit.
No ribbon for you. Who does not want to wear a ribbon? Somber says no ribbon for you. Tater says McCarthy. No, that's the Browns. You misspelled Browns. Browns, the dog shit years. That's been 1999 to 2026. Somber says premeditated relapse. Tortilla, all the crackheads became politicians. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Who would have thought? And, listen, people always knew that they were corrupt and crooks, but who would have thought they were as corrupt and as crooked as they really are? My God, they certainly exceeded my expectations. Let's go to Ty. Ty says, laugh my ass off at Somber. I deserve it. Corey, I'm sorry, not Corey, but Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this: it is not a good thing that your kids can look out their car window and not get scared. LOL. Let's go. Cody says this: I used to pay bums and crackheads to buy me alcohol. You know what? So did we. In high school, they always bought the wrong shit. Just standing outside the bar or the corner store trying to get them to buy you stuff. That was always an adventure. Cody, Tater, Tyrone. Cody was definitely a wild guy. You think? You think? I would pay money to be a fly on the wall at Cody's house when he was a kid.
Oh my God.
Ty says draft 12 quarterbacks. If they were there, hey, you know what? Mark Malone, keep on drafting them. Mark follows that up by saying we need Beck, Robertson, and Aller this season, which he's been consistent, Mike. I got to be honest. There's hasn't been much fluctuation in Mark Malone's takes.
He wants every single quarterback we can get our hands on.
That's right. You know what? If you get them all, you can't possibly lose.
He's trying to collect them all like Pokemons.
Corey, I'm sorry, I keep doing that. Yinzer Joe says this: the Steelers organization says they're not going to pick it this draft. I have the feeling no quarterback is being drafted till next year. And you know what, Yinzer Joe, that's kind of what I assumed it was going to be. I thought that would be the best way to work out, but we don't know. I could see them grabbing a quarterback later for whatever reason. But again, at the end of the day, it seemed like a lot of smoke and mirrors. We know we need the left side of the offensive line. We know we need a wide receiver. Things that we know that we need. I just don't know. Maybe if there's one of these quarterbacks late in the draft, maybe they'll grab them. But at the end of the day, I just don't understand what you're doing with that. But unless you're going to make it a whole big thing, Mike, as you said, and have Will Howard going at it with a rookie. I mean, and that could be a whole thing too, I guess.
Yeah, that could be the thing too. And hey, competition should bring out the best of you.
It should.
It is a legit competition between multiple quarterbacks, and like, hey, this day in practice, I'm the number one quarterback. This day in practice, I'm the number two. So you go in knowing, hey, every day I got to be my best, not only when I'm running with the ones, but when I'm running with the twos to impress the coaches, because the guy running with the ones might suck it up that day. And I want to show, hey, I'm taking this seriously. I'm doing everything I can with the backups to one, make them better, but two, to make me better and look sharp. So it's going to bring out the best if there is a legit quarterback competition. You might have it set up like, hey, just on the depth chart, Mason's the number one just because he's the veteran. Will Howard number two because he's been here. Then the rookie number three, but that's a bureaucratic ranking, and then you go out there and prove it on the field.
Vegas says this: Colbert had the worst hairline in the state.
I don't know. This hairline is up there.
Ty says this: Mikey says, on my life, what the fuck is this coming to Pittsburgh State? Somber, Bella Danger's doppelganger is Toucan Sam. Tater says, is the Hall of Fame not in Cleveland?
It is not. It's not. It is in Canton, Ohio, which is very far away from Cleveland, Ohio.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, Tater Tard.
Yes.
But Canton, Ohio is where the Hall of Fame is. Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. He says Ty Simpson didn't play very many games. He also reminds me of Will Levis or Mason Rudolph. Why would we draft when we have that? I agree. We
got Ty Simpson at home.
Yeah. I mean, can we please get some Ty Simpson? Please, please, please. We got Ty Simpson at home. You'll be fine.
Mason Rudolph picking his nose in the corner.
Yeah, just like when your parents make those chicken nuggets that just aren't McDonald's when they say we have chicken McNuggets at home. It's the same thing. Don't drink that. Corey says this. He said, here's my question. If Aaron Rodgers don't come back, which would be fine, then what do? We go into camp with 4 quarterbacks. So do we sign another journeyman and draft a project or draft 2 and waste picks? And again, I can see where this could be somewhat of an issue next week if we don't get that announcement by Aaron. But again, I'm not convinced that the people behind the doors don't know what's going on. Because again, if we don't know by that point next week, then it kind of gets effed up. Because we kind of have to figure out what the hell we're doing. We have to draft according to what you're doing, and whether you want to feel like talking today or feel like making a decision today. So I don't care for that. Yeah,
I can see a scenario where they draft a quarterback either way.
I don't even get why they would do that. It makes no sense.
Because it's a premium position, and this coaching staff really isn't married to Mason Rudolph.
Think about a premium position. You need premium players to play premium positions, and if you have a bunch of not premium players, it really it's useless. Whoever we draft this year isn't going to be anything on this team. Like they're not. Even with the big draft coming next year at the quarterback, and also with Aaron Rodgers probably going to come back. If they take a quarterback in this year's draft, it's gonna yield nothing. It's going to yield, in my opinion. Well, what do we think? We're going to get this guy, and it's going to be something. I just can't imagine how it could work out anyway, Mike, unless Ty Simpson comes out of nowhere or somebody and just blows the roof off of the team and just blows everybody away. I can't imagine why you would even waste your time at this point grabbing a mid-round quarterback, but that's just me.
Could be too, like Will Howard is also, this regime, they didn't select him. They didn't pick him. They may have said, oh, if he was here, he would have been drafted sooner. Is that lip service? Is that truthful? And they might want to get a guy to, also develop too, because maybe they don't want to hang on to Mason Rudolph. Maybe they want Aaron Rodgers and 2 young guys behind him to see, all right, which of the 2 is going to be good for the future here. If they show out well in preseason, maybe flip one for a draft pick into next year's draft to use to get up, a better quarterback. There's going to be a lot of different scenarios going into it, into their thought process. But, if you draft a quarterback, I don't think it's going to say anything negative about Will Howard, but maybe the draft position, if you get one in the 4th round, do you value him more than Will Howard? That could be a debate to be had, but you never know. These aren't their guys. They want to get in their guys.
Here's what you do. Aaron Rodgers will be back. And if he's not, take Will, have him go up against Mason, let one of them start this season. Listen, if you fall because they don't do well, then you have a better opportunity next year when all the good quarterbacks are in there. Getting a quarterback this year just wastes everybody's time. It's not gonna yield anything. It's gonna eventually be something that is no longer. So in my opinion, go with what you have. If Aaron don't come back, let's see. Like I said, let these 2 guys go at it. Who knows? Will Howard, we don't know if he's going to be good or bad. The fact of the matter is 50%, there's a chance he may be good. So if he's good, that's good. If he's bad, then we get a better look at what the quarterbacks are in the 2027 draft, the draft that everybody's waiting for. And if everybody's waiting for the 2027 draft, having good positioning might not be the worst thing. I don't know. Ty Simpson just seems like a waste to me. Unless, again, one of these kids coming up, Mike, you could get them in the middle round and expect them to do great things and exceed their expectations and go out there and just win you over. Again, and that's a risk you take. I just say don't mess with it at this point. Get things that you need. You got the big quarterback class coming up next year. Work on your depth because, Mike, as we always say, you want to build a good team so you can put that quarterback in the spot. You don't want to have him struggling with the bad offensive line next year or the year after, whatever the case may be with the situation with the young quarterback. But if you find somebody in next year's draft that you want to be your franchise quarterback, you better damn well believe that left-hand side of the line better be blocking his ass. These are the things maybe they should be focusing on instead of throwing a mid-round pick away at a quarterback that's probably not going to be significant in any way. Get the damn depth. Get your inside linebacker depth. Get your safety depth. Get your left-hand side of the offensive line fixed. Get your wide receiver situation fixed. We got things that we could be worrying about right now, Mike. Again, I'm personally, and again, I don't know, so don't go by me, but I'm about 85% sure that Aaron Rodgers will be back. And again, with the big quarterback draft next year, I don't understand. In my opinion, again, I just say you don't piss with quarterbacks this year. Go with what you work. Go with what you have. And here's another thing: let Will play a bunch in preseason, and again, give him his reps. If he earns it, he earns it. If he doesn't, then we'll get our guy and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I put on the record. I think I don't want a quarterback in this draft unless you're going to get one way late in the draft, kind of like maybe a Cole Payton late in the draft or Sawyer Robinson. If they're sitting there in like the 6th, 7th round, that would be the perfect spot to get a
John
quarterback
Rice
if you want to get.
John Rice Plumlee got drafted late last year, the year before. Again, it's the same thing. He's going to be something that's just you're wasting time. Go work on your depth. That's what you need.
That's what you definitely want to do with those.
Because this quarterback that's coming out this year is not going to be a significant part of the future. They're just not.
Like a backup at best for a lot of these guys. And I want at least 2 offensive linemen, 2 wide receivers, and a defensive lineman with my first 100 picks, or within the top 100. I think that would be awesome. Or, substitute 1 D lineman for a safety or corner, something along those lines. Because, my God, get wide receivers, get O-line help. Because, like you said, man, you want this there. If Will Howard's going to be your guy, or quarterback next year is going to be a guy, don't stop what you've been doing just because we have a new head coach. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep building this team so it is more or less quarterback proof. We did this before with Big Ben, and you see it around the NFL teams that are going to go out and get a quarterback and have no structure around him, no foundation of a team, and then that guy sucks forever, bounces around the league, and then eventually they go off and win a Super Bowl in Seattle. Have a team in place, then go and get your quarterback.
Well, I'm just going to go to RB real quick, just because I see this. I see what you're saying, but the point is, we already have Will Howard. He's already on the team. He already has a uniform. He already has a locker. So again, you have to work him into the equation. But the point of what you're saying, I see what you're doing. But let me get back on the board, Mike. We have to do some catching up here. We are.
I know there a lot. I just want to catch that comment from RB2, and I flew past a ton of them.
But that would be the purpose there. Again, Will Howard isn't an option. He's obviously an option by default because he's already on the team. So I mean, if you want to place him into that conversation like that, you can, but that's not exactly what I meant. Let's go to right here. Tortilla says this: Ty Simpson didn't start many games. He played 31 though in his college career, which is almost 3 seasons of college football. 12, 24, 36. So 3 seasons is a lot of football for some football players in college.
Yeah, like he only started the one though. I think it was like a little bit of playing time here and there, but then last year was his only time where he was like the locked in 100% starter.
Corey, don't drink that says, I know he is an outlier, but Brady was not good at all in college, and look how he turned things around after he sold his soul. That's the deal. If you're ready to sell your soul, anybody could do it. But let's see who wants to jump in bed with the devil. Christine says this. Aller, he's local, so it's free, and it doesn't mean anything. Everyone likes free stuff. I don't think they are though, Mike. Is Penn State? They're not considered a local anymore.
No, they're not considered local. Like the one guy from Penn State was considered local because he
was here from the
area. Yeah. So that's how that worked. I thought the Penn State guys were local, but no, it's like Pitt and some other small colleges around us are local. Unfortunately, I thought Penn State was counted too, but
he does count as yesterday. 29 of 30. Of course, the pre-draft visits. The deadline is today for that. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, I can't wait for this draft, man. I am hyped. Yeah, I am too. I'm super hyped. And if I didn't have to deal with Derpy and a million people, it would be a lot more exciting. But I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's go right here to Christina. She also says this. She says the only way we're taking Ty is if Rodgers bounces, because that would be our only option. He is still better than anyone we have on our roster right now. Mark Malone says Beck's only 23. That's come on. College senior. Nowadays, everyone plays extra years in college. 23 is not old.
Feels old to me.
Coming from somebody who's 45.
Shut up.
Steeler Freak says this. He says, I want a picture of Derpy bull riding the duck. You know what it would take to get him to the duck? I just want to say, John, again, it's gone 6 days just trying to decide if he's going to take the same bus. and he's going to make his way over to the Duck.
That ain't happening.
And again, I don't know if, of course, John's out west, but the Duck's not actually going to be down at the draft. It's going to be up in Green Tree. So again, it will be a whole thing. Derpy, you know, I wouldn't count on it. If I could get that for you, John, I would certainly produce that. But again, it's Derpy. Let's go right here, Mike, to Christina. She says, let me scoot down before it moves on me. Christine says this. Christine, go black and gold. She says if they know okay, going back, they should. Did I already read that one? No. If they know Rodgers is coming back, they shouldn't waste any pick on another quarterback. Take that pick with you, waste on a quarterback package, and trade up for someone that will actually play. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. Do something smart. I think just getting a quarterback just to get one this year is crazy. Ty, he agrees. He says, Christine, 100%. Yinzer Joe, Penn State isn't local. West Virginia is. Which, well, I mean, West Virginia is only an hour away.
Yeah, and Penn State's a fucking trek from here.
Yeah, hour and a half, West Virginia. But, I mean, that's probably what it is there. And I listen, I thought that Penn State was local all these years, too. I didn't know that they didn't count as or they counted as non-local picks, visits. I'm sorry. Let's go to Wheatley, 4th round. Tyrone. Tyrone is saying Wheatley, 4th round. Somber says Savage has nothing to do with who we draft. He's just a strong safety. But that's what I'm saying when you're talking about what your depth is, when you're looking at positions. And again, we don't know. Mike and I don't know if Savage is waiting to find out what we do in the draft, or we're waiting to see what Savage is doing to know whether we should address that anywhere in the draft. Was kind of where I was coming from.
I just have a feeling we're going to draft a safety. It's a position of need, and with him being up in the air with that medical issue or whatever's going on, and because it's coming from the team, they want that cleared up, his issues cleared up before everyone gets together and signs. So we'll wait and see. But I have a feeling we'll draft the safety.
Steel Loyal, always great seeing Steel Loyal. He says, I'm late. You're good, brother. You're good, sir. Always great to see Steel Loyal. He says Savage is a free safety. Cody says this. Nick Chubb situation is crazy. Didn't Minka break his knee in half? He did. He just folded over forward. Just Tortilla says, dude, you missed it. Corey, don't drink that, says, have you ever had issues with pain meds from injuries? He could be in rehab. He could be. Could be. Go right here to Cody. Cody says Texas. Also, John says this. Draft night is when the drunk guys tell you they knew all along the Steelers would make those draft picks for sure.
That might be me here on this channel.
That's definitely
I knew we was going to do this.
Ty says Savage is a PQ guy. Need free safety. Somber, I don't understand the love for Bud Clark. He's another strong safety, great player, just not what we need. John, a Steeler freak, says this. Chubb needed 2 surgeries to fix his knee. It was real bad, man. The knee just doesn't bend that way.
No.
And when it bends the way that it did, you know it's not going to be good. Ty says this. Yeah, I don't know about Pregon first round. Agree, Mike. Let's go right here. Steel Loyal, I believe Bud Clark is a free safety as well, Somber, but he plays both. Ty says Wheatley, I like True. I like True for FSC. Somber, Cody says this. He says Somber, the Clint Torres thing is catch on fire. Somber also says this. He says his snap count in college shows he's a box strong safety. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. He says, while he has experience in the box, 250 plus snaps and slot, his elite coverage instincts, range, and high interception rate, 15 career interceptions make him best suited for roles in coverage. Steel Loyal says this also. His draft profile says this. Somber, unless he was some high school free safety phenom, LOL. All right, let's go right here. John says this. The freak get credit for clitoris, baby. RB says this. Just wait till you see the price gouging, $18. Dude, that's what I'm saying. The prices are going to be stupid. Because here's the thing. Everybody wants to rake in the money now. They know everybody's going to be in town. Everybody's going to be spending money. Everybody's going to need something to drink. I can't even imagine what some of these prices are going to be. RB goes on to say $18 bottle of water, $30 beers, $40, $45 hot dogs, burgers, $20 hot dogs. Tortilla says Dr. Meat Whip. Dr. Meat Whip. Cody says this, get a pimp cane with a dagger as the handle. There you go, Mike.
I should.
And you could always play that into Halloween next year. When you're walking the kids around, you could go as a pimp.
There we go.
With this cane.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
I'll have a hoe train behind
the hoe train. Tortilla says STD stands for Steelers touchdown. Hey, that's so true. And I never even thought of that ever in my life. Ronald Albright. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Ronald. He said, did somebody say tacos? Or was it Takaro, as in Davis? By the way, Takario Davis will likely become a Steeler come next week. Always great seeing Ronald Albright on the board, so I got to also throw that up there. Somber says, fuck, he's back. Cody says, Water Malone. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I'm just laughing at the comments.
Ty says, agree, Ronald. They seem really like him for real. Corey, don't drink that. Talking about Derpy. Mike, he says he could put on his Superman cape and fly there.
Derpy.
I like it. I like the thought process there. This is some good outside the box thinking.
Somber says this place. Penn State players do count as top 30 visits, by the way. Both yes, they do. Not a local, and that's what. And Mike, it wasn't just you. I mean, I've heard this before. I don't know why. Has Penn State always been not local?
Probably, just based on like the geography of it. You're like, my God, that's halfway across the state. We can't have you guys having Pitt and Penn State and be local visits. So they're kind of screwing over the Steelers and the Eagles, because if the Eagles want to visit someone from Pitt, for me that should count. It's in the same state. It should be a local visit.
No, I don't. It doesn't matter to me either way. I've never thought about Penn State twice to even wonder. But to be honest, oh well. They still have, listen. They still have a surplus, Mike. We still have one pick left over after Drew Aller, so we must not have did too bad. We must not have did too bad. Let's go right here to Mark Malone. Mark Malone says this. He says, well, you know what? No, I missed this one. Ty says, I'm getting 4 soft taco supreme with hot sauce, fries, and with cheese, Baja Blast, best order, goat fire. Dude, absolutely. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, you know what? This fat guy might go try that out today.
I like them taco supremes, the soft taco supremes. Mark Malone says, well, we only need one of those 3 this year. Somber says, bad Tyrone. Slaps hand. Bad Tyrone. Rubbing Tyrone's nose in it. Look what you've done. Let's scoot up here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this Bud Light is actually giving beers out to fans whose team is drafting on the clock. That is really cool. I tell you what, we will be we'll have free beer because we're going to be with the Duquesne Light people. But as you said, I can imagine
Duquesne Pilsner.
Here's the thing: come by to the Duquesne Pilsner tailgate, because there will be free beer if you're over 21 years old. Duquesne Pilsner will have free beer, so come and check us out. Let's also go to right here. John says this 84.75. Enjoy while you were young. I don't have enough Tums and Maylocks for that gut bomb. Steel Loyal Bud Light doing all they can to be relevant again. Tortilla says, I'm a taco terrorist, man. He says, I am a taco terrorist. Osama taco is Osama Burrito Laden. Christopher says, I can't wait to go to Latrobe for training camp this year. It's always packed, but it's going to be wild this year. I always have a great time. That's awesome. So you do make the trek up from South Florida to go to camp. That's awesome. Maybe we'll see you this year. I do know the Derpy goes up every year, just depending on what we do. It'd be awesome to see some people, man. Corey says this, Mike, don't drink that. Corey says, Mike, you should look up a picture of Beck. It's a cartoon character. Wait, you should look up this picture of Beck. It's a cartoon character. It's a character from Real Monsters that holds his eyeballs. Have to check that out, Mike.
I'll have to take a look ski.
John says this, Steeler Freak, we're back at talking levels of average again. Hey, we are. That's crazy, man. Build the trenches, Ty says. You got to build the trenches. This is listen, this is what your draft should be. You know you need defensive line. You know you need defensive line. You gave up 250 yards. I don't care who you are. If you give up 250 yards last year, you better damn well be drafting somebody on that defensive line. Because, of course, you know, if the inside linebacker position doesn't fix itself, like a lot of people think that it may, Patrick Queen may improve under a new coaching staff, under new coordinators. At the end of the day, we didn't make much noise in the middle of the defense. And at the end of the day, we are a team that gave up 250 yards on the ground last year. So deal with them trenches. You got to get to trenches. And again, offensive line, 2 guys on the left-hand side of that line, defensive line are things that we need. So, you know, going outside of that early is again, would be a head scratcher to me. Let's go right here to Ronald. Ronald again, Mike says this. He says, Yinzers, how can you say any quarterback in this draft will be nothing based on what? Because Mel Kiper or Todd Mache told so? Come on, guys, get real. What round was Dak or Brock Purdy drafted in? Well, here's the thing, Ronald. Obviously nobody knows. If it was easy, everybody would get the right guy. Nobody's blowing you away. And again, you do. Sometimes you do turn to the experts to see where they're telling you that it's going to be a strong wide receiver class. Do you believe that? And why do we believe that? You know what I mean? So again, yeah, you only have the information that you got. And at the end of the day, I'm not in love with anybody from this draft. That doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just based on you watch their college games,
right.
You watch them play, and it's like, ugh, that does not look good. And that's what everyone does when they sit down and evaluate guys. They watch the games, they watch the film, study like how they drop back, their feet movement, their eyes, their anticipation, and then if you need help with that, you go follow and watch videos of people who break down quarterbacks for a living, people who used to play quarterbacks in the pro break down these guys. So you go and you get more and more information, and that's how I form my opinion on these guys. I just don't think they're going to be that good in the NFL. Some of them might have a chance to be bottom tier starters in the league, but a lot of these guys look like they're going to be backups at best in the NFL.
It's the thing.
It's an inexact science too. You base everything's based off of just what you see and what you feel about how their skills will translate and can they develop. And it all comes down to where you're going to land. What team are you going to go to?
I think what he's saying, you got to give the guys the benefit of the doubt. Somebody might be good, they might not be. Because he's not really saying a whole lot, but I understand what he's saying. And again, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't love him. I don't love the quarterbacks from this draft. That's just my opinion. And again, when it's all said and done, let's just say one of these guys come up and become the next great quarterback in the league. Come and tell me. That's cool. I listen. I'm never. I'm afraid to admit that I was wrong. So do that if that's the case. I just don't think that there's anybody worth getting in this draft as far as quarterback. Tortilla says this is the song that never ends. John says I am waiting to see Rodgers' Kalshi odds for going the whole season. I got to be honest with you. He made it further than I thought he would last year. I thought that he would have issues. I thought that he would have personality issues. And then after he broke the wrist, nothing seemed to slow him down. Aaron Rodgers started 16 of the 17 games. So with a broken wrist. So that's more than I gave him credit for. I give him that. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say, if it wasn't for that broken wrist, he would have played every snap.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we already got that one with RB. Cody says Ty Simpson is the future. Steel Loyal Cody Silva's the hamster. Let's go to Ty exactly and how Howard better than all these dudes. Laughed my ass off. Scooted on me here a little bit. Let's go right here. Mark Malone, we've got a young offense. Just need a slot wide receiver and a left guard. Howard or Beck could light it up in this offense. Cody says, whatever, Steel, you nerd. Why I yada is what Steel Loyal says in response to that. And then he pokes him in the eyes. Let's go right here to John. John says, we were assuming Rooney would agree to start any young rookie or young quarterback like Howard with no experience. That announces not competitive to him. Ronald says, I remember 1 year ago, everybody said this draft was going to be, but you know what? It started to change. And once the guys started changing their mind going back to college, well, let me finish. To be fair, everyone said Arch, Manning, Klubnik, Sellers, Eller are all considered top 5. And you know what? Look at that. You got Sellers going back to South Carolina. You got Manning back to Texas. So, I mean, yes, that was the narrative last year. However, you started to see that narrative change throughout the season as they all started announcing, well, these guys are going back to college. These guys are making enough money with NIL money. This guy doesn't. So, again, yes, at this time last year, that was, in fact, the narrative. But you could also see how that changed over the year. Let's do scoot right here to hey, what's up? The other Robert back on the board. Also, I do want to say what's up, Robert, to you. He says it is not based on college, but what town they live in. A player from Monroeville that played at Upper St. Clair will be considered local. Monroeville. Steel Loyal, Ronald, half of those quarterbacks went back to. That's what I'm saying. And it was more than just the two. I mean, the kid from Ole Miss, he was expected to be one. He went back. Chambliss, Lenora Sellers went back to South Carolina. So, I mean, it was a half of the quarterbacks that people were talking about being in the top part of what it is that you're saying.
Yeah, and then their play throughout the year, just did not live up to the billing. So then, you change your evaluation on them.
Absolutely.
It's an ever. The information comes in and changes every day on what you see from these guys game in and game out. So you have to change your opinion on it.
Right here, I'm going to go to Cody. Cody says that was the nerdiest reply. Steeler Freak John, I think Rooney would try for a Carr or Rivers before going young. Mark Malone. Mark Malone says this, you can't call your shot like you're Babe Ruth drafting a quarterback. It's going to take a few to connect. I'm going to go right here to Ronald Albright. Ronald says, yes, Loyal, that's because they all had disappointing seasons, but that doesn't mean they won't be good. But that's the thing. If you could tell that particular information, then again, how great Josh Allen was, or even Drake May. And Mike, I've been telling everybody about Drake May for years.
You were high on Drake May, and you were very high on Sam Darnold. I give you credit. You were too, man. You were out in front of that before anyone else.
I am the unknown quarterback whisperer.
You are.
Steel Loyal says this, I'm not sure what you're arguing, so I'm not going to get involved at. Ronald Mark Malone says, a little opioid withdrawal builds character. Nothing wrong, a little opioid withdrawal. Tortilla says if Carson Beck was in space, he'd be in space. I like it, I think. Mark Malone, will Derpy ever get any experience in the box or slot of a full-size woman? I highly doubt it. But you know what? I was thinking about that the other day. Like, remember last week we talked about the robots becoming the future of sexual relationships? Mike, I could see Derpy getting turned down by a robot.
I do too. But, hey, there is a special lady out there for Derpy. We just got to find her.
We think she's out there. And she'd have to be pretty special. I'm just saying. Let's go to Cody. Cody says Josh Allen and Drake May suck at Ronaldo. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla. Josh and Drake also aren't in space. Wasn't that a kid's show? Drake and Josh? Let's go Tortilla. I can't believe I said Josh and Drake. There he is. There it is. I know that because my oldest boy was in the Drake and Josh when he was a kid. Steel Loyal, I never thought that it would be so simple, but I found a way. Is what he said. It moved on me, and I actually got the whole thing in there. Let's go to this. RB says, I'm always thinking of take a quarterback every year. On the 4th and 5th, take a high-quality arm guy who needs work and give him work. It's like printing money. You can make it work. That's the Cleveland theory. Cleveland. That's the way they think up in Cleveland. They've had 54 quarterbacks since 2000. Let's Steeler Freak John. John says bring Derpy in like they do moving Kong in the movie Helicopters in a Net. Tortilla, it's going to take some time to go 9-8. Cody says they got fries at Taco Bell. They got nuggets too. I noticed at Taco Bell.
Yeah, gotta get him for the the picky kids when the parents go to the Taco Bell.
Let's go right here. Robert says Singleton's high school is only about 30 miles from Philadelphia, so he counts as a local visit, even when Penn State is more than 50 miles from Philly. Tortilla says, I missed the burrito laden. Cody, I've never heard anyone say, let's go get some fries from Taco Bell. That's like getting a taco from McDonald's. And you know what? Taco. I remember one particular time. Was it tacos or hot dogs? McDonald's had something real bizarre.
I think it was hot dogs.
It was hot dogs. There was a time that you could have went to McDonald's and got a hot dog, Cody. And why I directed getting a hot dog only to Cody, I don't know. It just played out that way, but there you have it.
But Cody likes putting those long cylindrical objects in his mouth.
I'm just saying.
That's what the rumor is on the streets.
Speaking of streets, Steele says about Sheets. Sheets fries are greater than everybody else's. Mostly everything Sheets have is better than a lot of people. I love Sheets.
I love Sheets. I'm a Wendy's fries. Still hold up for me.
McDonald's fries are really good. You know what? Yeah, they're all good in their own way. John says this: clitoris can close the holes. Tortilla says those nacho fries get more bitches than any one of us, Cody. Cody says maybe more than you guys. Not me, man. Let's go right here to John. John says, what is clitoris doing on the field? He is out there flapping like a sleeve on a wizard. Ty says nobody go for fries, you hamster. It's a side, you goofy.
See, I think we move clitoris to tight end because I don't think anyone on the defense will be able to find him. It's just a thought.
When I'm talking wide receiver, I'm talking clitoris. I think wide receiver. I don't know.
Wide receiver, yeah. I again, the defense is going to have trouble identifying clitoris out there, spread out wide.
Got to be able to identify.
Got to be able to identify.
Tortilla says a cup of cheese changes everything. And that's my argument. I can't eat a meal unless I have my side condiments, my whatever I have for dipping. Cheese for Taco Bell. Like I said, I get my honey mustard for my Wendy's meals. Everything. And the thing is that if you don't get it, it F's up your whole meal. I don't even want to eat it anymore if I don't get my extra condiment.
Cup of cheese changes everything. That's the title of Derpy's sex tape.
And the thing is, that's what you like. That's what you ordered. That's what you prefer. So if you don't get it, why would you want it? Why? I don't know. I always got to have my cheese. Steel Loyal says stuff is good. Let's go right here. Ronald says this. I think this is reference back to the last comment we had. Ronald says, okay, so tell me, if Pittsburgh suddenly had the top pick, would you be absolutely screaming to draft Fernando Mendoza? And if yes, why? Based on what? Absolutely not. I don't want Mendoza. I don't think he's a number one overall quarterback. Listen, he might be barely
be quarterback in the draft.
He is the best quarterback in the draft, but I wouldn't be screaming to get him.
No, me either. I'd be screaming for the team to trade out of that spot to a quarterback for their team. Got all the draft picks for this year and next year and the year after that as well to build. I think he's going to be a fine quarterback in this league. I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to elevate a franchise to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a big no burger for me as well. Corey says this: we would have won 11 games if he would have played against the Bears. That's possible because again, we barely lost to the Bears. It was Mason Rudolph throwing a bad throw when the game came down to it at the end, where we lost. Tyrone says loyal facts. Cody ain't hip. That's the hamster talking. What is this hamster all of a sudden with Cody? I got to know what this hamster's all about.
What did he do to that hamster?
I don't know. Tortilla says Shawty wanted fondue, but what does nacho cheese going to do? Cody says this at Ronaldo. Yeah, draft Mendoza. He's the GOAT. Yeah, see, I'm not big on Mendoza either. I don't think this is a very good draft class at all for quarterbacks, considering what the narrative was this time last year. I expected to be a little better. Robert says this. He says USC is a guy that played for the University of Southern California but lived near Pittsburgh would be considered local, not count against their. Wait, what? A guy that played for Southern Cal but lived in Pittsburgh would not be or how would that be considered local?
So so if a guy went to USC and grew up in like Pittsburgh, and we did a top 30 visit for him, it would be a local visit, not a top 30 visit.
Oh yeah, for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was okay.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Tortilla Caboli's wife would probably love Derpy. That's debatable. That's debatable. Does Caboli even have a wife? I don't know if she does. Steel Loyally says Ryan singing the Drake and Josh theme song. Bingo. I got bingo. You know what? I dug in again when you're kids watching things over and over and over again. You kind of get into it. I thought they were kind of funny. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says Steelers bring in Traden Stukes, Arizona safety at Somber. Cody says Johnny Ringo looks like somebody just walked over your grave. Tortilla says this no bullshit. Those fires are legit. Those fries, I think is what he was saying. He did. He corrected himself there. Them fries. Yinzer Joe says Josh Allen was an MVP candidate. Drake Bake is good enough to get to the Super Bowl, but a lot of us don't want Rodgers back. He had similar stats to Allen. He just needed. I agree. I have no problem with Aaron. If Aaron comes back this year, I'll be totally fine with that. I'll be totally fine with it. And again, I thought that I would hate it. So, I was wrong. Cody says this Mike probably went to McDonald's in high school in the 1950s, rolled up in his roller skates.
That's why you are number 1 on the enemies list.
Ryan eats fast food during sex.
Wait, who doesn't?
It's right. It's happened. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go right here to Tortilla, full head of hair too. Steel Loyal says Big Mac was 50 cents. I remember 20 years ago, back in 2000, I remember you could get 2 Big Macs for $5. Now you can't get a Big Mac for $10. It's crazy. Scooby-Doo van, back in the old Scooby-Doo van, I put a hamster in my butthole is what Cody said is where that hamster is where
Let me winks.
I didn't realize it was going to be that, but I guess I could have guessed. Tortilla says Scooby grab a Duke on the tube. We got a podcast to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I love it. Cody says, call me Richard Gere. Bars. Yeah, you got the bars. And Ty says, y'all better chill on dog, Mike. A few things that I do want to get into, Mike, as we are rounding third here on the show. This is what some comments about Aaron Rodgers. Let's listen what the teammates had to say about this. Jalen Warren on Aaron Rodgers, Mike, he says, great if he's back. We'll miss him if he's not. He says, I'm not expecting anything. Whatever happens, happens. I'm rocking with whoever is at quarterback. And that's me too. That's me too. I think that you have to build this team as best as you can. That way, when you find your guy, as we said, Mike, you put him in spot and you put him in the best opportunity, the best position to win. And basically, that was how Ben played out. We didn't do it on purpose, I don't think. But when he came in, Mike, it was just go out, don't lose football games, manage the game. And then he got better and used his skills and then proved over time and became one of the better quarterbacks, certainly in our franchise history and league history as well. Yeah,
because we were building a team around, people like Tommy Maddox, tail end of Cordell Stewart, too. We were just building team, getting talent around on offense and playing great defense. So, when drafted Ben, cool, in a year or two, he'll be the starter while he learns behind Maddox. He just happened to be thrusted into that starting role, and it worked out perfect because that team was already built and ready to go. It was shocking that we were drafting that high to get him. So it was a no-brainer, and he was considered the one who had the highest ceiling in that draft class. He was raw, but the physical tools that he had, everyone said he wouldn't be surprised if he turned out to be the best quarterback out of the bunch, and he did.
So that's my way of Jalen Warren. Mike, let's see what somebody on the defensive side might have to say about Aaron Rodgers when talked about the future of Aaron. This is what Patrick Queen says this, Mike, on Aaron. But hell, I'd take him back. Dude is a great teammate. He's a great quarterback. The defense has to step up to help out whoever the quarterback is, though, is what Patrick Queen said.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. But my God, if these guys are down with having Aaron Rodgers back. I'm down with having Aaron Rodgers back, but I like the accountability from Queen saying, yeah, the defense, we got to do what we're supposed to do.
And another thing too, if Aaron comes back, like he also plays a really good role of a leader as well. And as you are still trying to piece these pieces together, your new wide receiver, your rookie wide receiver, your left side of your line, at least Aaron, he can help out a lot of things. And as again, I think that benefits for the young quarterback or whoever it is whenever they do step in, because there's going to be things in place, things that are working right, instead of having the rookie quarterback or a young quarterback in there trying to fix everything and be that leader while he's trying to learn and do himself. I think another year of Aaron Rodgers could do the team good ultimately, Mike, and especially with the new coaching staff. I just think it could make things a little bit smoother. And then again, you could kind of build toward what it is that you want to do. Let's do to get back on the board. I do see as more messages are coming up. I don't want to miss anybody. We've been doing good today, Mike. We're staying up with the board. A lot of great messages, all great messages today. Thanks, everybody, for their messages. Let's get to end of days. Always great seeing end of days. He says Steelers need to draft a quarterback in the first round. Maybe next year. I don't know if there's a quarterback that I think is worth it in the first round this year. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says, if you guys were GM, would you jump up over the Ravens if Downs and Vega dropped to 13? And which player or other would you take, Mike?
If Vega starts falling down the boards, I'm jumping up to grab him. Sign me up. I love offensive linemen in the first round. They have the highest success rate. Like, I like Downs, not in love with him like everyone else is. He does a lot of things damn good. Nothing great, at least in my mind. I think he's going to be a damn good player. But I think our biggest need is left guard more than safety right now. And I think Vega can – both of them would be great picks. But I like offensive linemen.
You need offensive line. Here's the thing, Mike. Yeah. Drafting a quarterback this year really does nothing for the team.
Yep.
You know what does something for this team? Bolstering that offensive line. And here's another thing you might want to consider. Getting some later pick offensive linemen, because at the end of the day, Mike, you have Spencer Anderson, you have Brock Hoffman. You're going to have to think about depth as well. Yes, we need an ideal situation on the offensive line to begin with. Your guard, your left tackle. Hope that the center all the way to the right stays healthy. But, you're going to want to get a guy or two also, Mike, to maybe possibly be somebody that is a depth piece on that offensive line for a period of time. We've seen Troy Fatanu go down for a whole season his rookie year. And again, the way the luck of the Steelers is, Mike, every year we've had a player go down all season as a rookie. So again, I'm not skimping the offensive line at all. I'm not skimping the defensive line. And if that means not getting a quarterback high in this draft, that's what it is. I think that those are the necessary moves to become a good football team, a solid football team, and gain in a lot of the areas that we might have lost on over the years. Getting a strong offensive line and improving the defensive line goes miles further than grabbing a quarterback that you're like, let's just get a quarterback. Those are things that you need. And again, the team's not going to get better if you don't fix those positions and stabilize your line on both sides of the ball. I mean, look what Philadelphia's been able to do, Mike. Every year, they're constantly a strong team. And how did they build that team? From the inside out. They started on them lines, and they did not stop. It was bang, 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 bang. And you got to have a good line. I mean, it's not pretty. It's not what everybody wants.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy, but at the end of the day, that's what you need the most.
Yeah. Because if you get Vega, plop him in at left guard, he can be there for the next decade, just like an Alan Faneca type.
That's perfect.
And then you pair him next to Zach Frazier, who's already arguably the top 2, top 3 center in the NFL. That's a nasty combo right there. And McCormick is playing well above expectations this early in his career. He looks like he's only going to get better. Fatano looks like he's just going to be getting better and better every year too. The dude's a freak. And then we got to figure out what are we going to do at left tackle here. There's guys in this draft that you can draft in the 4th round that might be able to start at right tackle, and then you flip Fatano over to left, and boom, your line's done. You're set and ready to go. And you win and lose in the trenches. I always bring it up. I go back and rewatch that Philly KC Super Bowl. Philly dominated both sides of the line.
Dude, and that KC team was winning a lot of football games, and they got dominated by a team who built their team based on the line. Yeah. So, again, I can't express that enough. Only people that listen, linemen, they'll tell you this to your blue in the face. Go find somebody you went to high school with, or find somebody that played college. They always will tell you lineman is where it's at. You know what? They're not wrong. Yes, skill positions are something you need as well, but the linemen are just as important.
If you have a shitty O-line, you can have the best quarterback in the world, like the Chiefs had, and you can't do shit.
Look at poor Justin Herbert out in LA, Mike. I mean, come on. Look at poor Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. That's the product of having. Come on, Joe Burrow could be possibly the best quarterback in the league. Justin Herbert could certainly be a lot better if they had a team that was built correctly to supplement what it is that they bring. Joe Burrow is in last place all the time. They did a little bit better after he came back. The Chargers certainly didn't live up to what they could have. Mike, starting the season 3-0, beating all three AFC West teams. This team just did not have an offensive line, and if you don't have an offensive line, Mike, you're not gonna stand the test of time, which is 17 games in the playoffs. It's not gonna happen. Good luck.
Well, and that's what happened to the Chargers, man. Both starting tackles,
exactly what happened.
Like Joe Alt and I forget who the other guy got. They were both top draft picks, both really good young players. Both really good players, and they both got hurt. Rashawn Slater, I think, was the other one. Yeah, because he just signed the contract. They both got hurt. Then guys started having to play out of position along the offensive line, and it just all collapsed for him.
I love this next message. I love a couple of these next messages. I love every message, but guys, let me get to these a couple here. I guess it's a couple down, but I see a few that I can't wait to get into here. Let me start right here. Okay, John says I had one of the original Jesus filet of fish meals. It came with boxed wine. Do you remember those? They came in the blue styrofoam, if I'm remembering right, John. The original or the older fish. I don't know if that would have been the original, but they were the blue styrofoam containers with the fish. Cody says Tommy Maddox was the shit. Hey, when I tell you what, when he came in and he was lighting it up, there wasn't many people that didn't like him here.
Heck yeah, baby. XFL MVP.
And then once he started messing up, they threw trash in his yard. That's just the way that it is in Western PA.
It's the circle of life.
You throw touchdowns, we love you. If you don't, we throw trash in your yard. Let's go to Ty. Ty says Yinzer Joe, Vega. Yes, definitely. I think a lot of people is liking Vega. Yinzer Joe says Vega's my choice too, Ty. Cody says this, my money stretched like gymnastics. I'm going to throw like a fastball from Greg Maddux. I'm thinking Louis Vuitton on some Reebok classics. I like it, Cody, with the bars today. Tortilla saying this. That's tough for me because we need Vega, but Downs is way too good to pass up. But I know. Give me both for crying out loud. I'll take them both.
I want all the guys in the top 15. God damn it.
I know. Let's go to... Steel Loyal says we're drafting Vega. I'm buying his jersey. He says I'm buying it now. I'm on the internet. I'm buying it right now. My Vega jersey will be here in 8 days. Let's go to the original OG, my man. Yinzer Joe, he says this. I love Tommy Gunn. These are the comments I started seeing. Like I started seeing the Tommy Gunn comments and I got really excited. Yinzer Joe says, I love Tommy Gunn. Maybe the key to being a good quarterback is to be an insurance agent or bag groceries before you take the NFL serious. Of course, Mike Kurt Warner was bagging groceries, and of course Tommy Maddox with the insurance. Pretty good.
I like it. That's not a bad thing.
Scottie Pippen was also bagging groceries as well. Scottie Pippen. Remember Scotty. Ty says, Loyal, whoever or the first round pick, ASAP. Tortilla, I just bought my Ty Simpson jersey, number 17, on its way. It is on its way. Scoot right here. Tyrone, Tortilla, if we do draft Simpson, we all blaming you, right? I'm sorry, Yinzer Joe says that Tortilla, you already got a Cardinals Ty Simpson jersey. You got that Cardinals Ty Simpson jersey? Ronald Albright says this. Yinzers, answer me this. If you had to pick a quarterback in this draft and it was in 4th round and you only had 3 choices, either Beck, Drew Aller, Taylor Green to choose from, I go Taylor Green, me personally. That's just me personally. I don't know if it's the best pick. I don't know if it's what the thing is, I didn't think of this thoroughly, but right off the top, just a topical answer, I take Taylor Green in that question.
Oh, God. Oh, gun to my head. Fuck it. Cody, this one's for you, brother. Give me Drew Aller.
And Tortilla saying Beck. So, again, a bunch of different answers on that.
Oh, God. I'm not sold on any of them.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. It's like at that point, I'm going to trust Mike McCarthy and his quarterback staff if they take a quarterback in the mid rounds. I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust them.
And that would be the only thing for me too. If we took anybody from this draft, I would seriously put it on the new coaching staff and say, well, you know what, this team is going to be more offensive minded. We have the quarterback whisperer. That would be what it comes down. It wouldn't be because I'm thrilled about the quarterbacks from this draft. It would be more because of the coaching staff, which is just as big as a question mark. You know, a lot of these guys just getting together for the first time to work. Steeler Freak John says the Kansas City O-line cost Mahomes 2 Super Bowls. It did. Could you imagine if they had an offensive line like the Eagles did? They might not have lost yet. Ty Tate, Chad Schrader, my man. Chad says this. What's up, Mike? What's up, Ryan? And here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Always great seeing Chad Schrader on the terrible board. Tortilla, if we don't draft him, thank me. I have no problem giving thanks to my man Tortilla. End of days. Always great seeing end of days. He says there are eight good quarterbacks available in this draft. Tortilla said bars, baby. There they go. And then I got to get to the reply to that right here, Mike, where Ty says name them. Name the 8. It's just interesting. I would be interested to see who you throw out there as well. Let's go to Ty. Ty says Vega's a monster. I watched film on him when he played against OSU. He shut down McDonald all game and pushed Reese 15 yards to the sideline. And he's a beast. No two ways about it.
There's a really good highlight. I think they're playing UCLA, and they had him lined up as a slot receiver, Vega, and he comes in motion and just destroys this defender on the edge and then just fucking jumps on him. Dude's a monster. He's an athletic freak. I love him.
Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says Ronald Albright. I like Green's mobility. Beck has a lot of play time and wins, but I'm not into him. I feel he's just an average young guy. Aller is big and strong, but makes too many mistakes in pressure situations. I couldn't agree more. Let's go to Steel Loyal. I can't wait to see this list. Yinzer Joe said Beck maybe on that group of people. Also Tortilla Jackson saying Beck as well. I do want to say hi to Brandon on the board. Welcome to the terrible board. Welcome to the show. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm just laughing at the comments.
Brandon says Steelers are garbage. LOL. End of days says Maddox was a bum. You know the thing about Maddox was this end of days. Cordell Stewart was a period of time that when we went to Super Bowl 30 in 1996, it was on the arm of Neil O'Donnell. So then Cordell wanted to play. He came in as Slash as a rookie. He was in that Super Bowl as a rookie, him and Mark Bruner. And then after that season, he wanted to be quarterback. And he was persistent. And he wouldn't change his mind. And people in Pittsburgh, they said, you know what? We just went to the Super Bowl on a guy that came in throwing the ball around. And when Cordell was finally done when we were done with the Cordell experiment, which was, quite a few years, and he did well in some situations. At some points during that time, he played quarterback. But when Tommy came around, the way he started slinging the ball, I think Steeler fans said, okay, we got a quarterback. It was always seemed like you were trying to force a square into a round hole with Cordell Stewart, because I don't know. I just don't know why. He was ahead of his time. Teams didn't run like they do now with the quarterbacks. And you're sitting there thinking, I want a guy that could throw the ball. I want a guy that, is an effective thrower. So when Tommy Maddox, as I said, as he came back, Mike, he surprised everybody. He was throwing the ball around. He's hitting Plexico Burris. He's hitting Hines, and he was getting stuff done. And I think that fans really like that about Tommy Maddox. Not that he was great. I think it was just the period of time that he fell in the way that it played out with his time here in Pittsburgh. Other than that, I mean, I didn't love him. I didn't hate him either, but he was what we needed for that particular time. We needed an arm. We needed somebody to get in there who was going to wing the ball around the football field, and he was able to do that. He served his purpose.
Yeah.
He did that long enough to get Ben in there, and Ben became the man, so the rest is history.
Hey, he won us a division title, and then, lost us enough games to allow us to draft Big Ben.
Yeah.
So, he best of both worlds out of Tommy Maddox.
I listen. I mean, for that short period of time, I'm fine with it because again, it led us to our franchise Ben and the Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, it was all right.
He was a perfect bridge quarterback.
Again, I think Cordell would be a better quarterback today. It was just too much like fitting. It was too much forcing to me. It didn't feel natural.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel natural. And Cordell didn't want to do anything besides play quarterback. And again, whatever your opinion was, at the end of the day, that's just how it played out. So I was okay. I was okay with Maddox. Nothing big, nothing bad, nothing whatever, but it was what it was. Let's get back on the terrible board. Let's go right here to Ronald Albright. He says, does anybody want to guess what quarterback I would like the Steelers to take in this draft? And nobody here has mentioned him. Ronald, let's think, Mike. Ronald says, does anybody want to take a guess at who I want in the draft? And nobody has mentioned him. It's got to be Nuss.
Nussmeier, like Cole Payton and Sawyer Robinson are like the three that people like to mention.
I'm going to go with Nuss. That's my guess, Ron. Somber says, Brandon, yo mama. Let's go here to Brandon. Says Steelers signed like 10 big name free agents just to finish as first rounds. You know what? The Steelers were picked to finish in last place. So for the Steelers winning the division and making the playoffs, that was actually a lot better than what was expected. So
won the division. Okay. Oof.
Yeah.
Hey, only one team could win the Super Bowl every year. Unfortunately, it was not us. But man, we made it to the dance and won the division, and the future looks bright.
Let's do scoot along though, Brandon. I'm sorry, no list. Okay. Ty says, Somber says Brandon sounds like a Browns fan. He does in a way, but I'm not gonna throw those kind of bad words at somebody. I have to know for sure before I
got to know for sure. You never know, man. There's 31 other teams out there he could be a fan of.
Yeah, let's go with that. That makes me feel a little bit more at ease. Let's go right here to Tater's cousin. Tyrone says Tater's cousin at Somber is what it's looking like to me. Tater got his cousin and his family involved. Let's go to Brandon says, hi, man. Always great seeing new names. Again, thank you, Brandon, and welcome to the show. Whoever your team is.
Whoever your team is, man. We love the banter.
Yeah, Steel Loyal says Tater got shooters. Somber says Tater's fiance. That's how he's going to get his visa. Brandon is Tater's fiance. Let's go here to Chad. Chad says this, Yinzer Joe and Tortilla. If the Steelers draft Carson, you will see Ryan, Mike, and I jumping off of bridges. No comment. Yeah, you will. As a matter of fact, I'm going to push Mike first. And then I'm going to debate whether I still want to jump, and then I'll probably still jump. But that's
that is fair. That is a valid thought process there. I endorse it 100%.
I have to see how it looks when you hit the water first before I do it. But that's the plan.
That's fair. I respect that, man.
Steel Loyal says one-way ticket to Cleveland. Brandon says Rodgers should win an award for most drug-addicted player of the year. Quite possibly.
Hey, Perk Rodgers, baby, he's back there slinging it. I'll take it.
And you know what? Every time he did the inhalants, Mike, of course, those aren't drugs or anything. He would certainly step up his game, the level of his game.
He did too. He was slinging touchdowns when he did that. And you noticed when Broderick Jones tackled Aaron Rodgers, up to that point, he was no longer giving Broderick Jones a whiff of the inhalants. I think that's why Broderick Jones tackled him. He was trying to get into his supply.
Was the Broderick Jones tackle before or after the broken wrist?
I think it was after.
I do too.
Because everyone's like, Broderick, what the fuck are you doing?
I tell you what, he jumped back up for being an older guy with a broken wrist and just got done being tackled by a 300-pound guy. He jumped up pretty fast for an old man, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's that old man strength and rage coming out to yell at the young whippersnappers.
It was adrenaline. I mean, come on.
He was like, what the fuck are you doing? I love it.
Let's go right here to Somber. They're going to play with each other's brown holes.
Flashback to 4 episodes ago.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Let's go to what the hell was 4 episodes ago?
When you were talking about eating ass.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's the worst part about when guys and you had to bring it up.
You could have just blew by. I bring up a valid point about a quarterback. You brush it off. I bring up this.
Well, you know what's the most embarrassing thing in the world? And I complain about this. Again, you could eat ass. I don't care. Men, women, whatever. But when a guy you're watching porn and a dude is on his back and he has his legs up. That is one of the most embarrassing things for a man, I would think, to see another man do it. It's I don't know. It's just weird to me. To see a guy on his back with his legs up and some chick eating his ass. That's just so weird to me. No guy should ever be laying in that position ever. I don't know. That's just me. The lack of response, Mike, speaks volumes, but I'm going to move forward.
I'm just dumbfounded by how like you got easily distracted by eating ass and you go off on these rants.
Now you know me for how long, and this is the kind of thing that stump you.
It's just I know you're gonna go off on the tangent, and I'm hoping that you won't. And I think I'm more disappointed in myself that I brought it up because I should have known better.
It makes me embarrassed to see a guy like that. I don't know why. It just does.
I just tend not to focus on the guy. If that thing comes up, I'm closing out the video and finding something else. That's just me. It's just me. I don't. Hey, if you want to sit there and stare at the guy's butthole,
if you're poking around in the taint area, that's one thing. But once you get down in the brown eye, man, it's weird. It's weird. And guys are, guys are weird. We shit and fart and swamp ass and everything else. I don't get it. I don't like it. But what the hell do I know? Let's get back at it here. Right here. Tyrone says this one-way ticket to see Pro Bowl Sanders. Cody says this. Cody says Ronaldo Carson Beck is his guest. Pavia. Ronald Albright says thank you. You mentioned him. And I think we do get that name here in a moment. Yinzer Joe says this. Coward asked Cordell to play wide receiver too because of the wide receiver injuries, but he kept the QB status too, hence slash. Absolutely. He ran the ball. He played receiver. He played quarterback. He even punted. Cordell Stewart did a little bit of everything at the slash, and he just wanted to be quarterback. He didn't want to do what was best for the team, apparently. He wanted to be quarterback, and to me, that was his downfall. It really felt forced to me. Was a little ahead of his time for his style. Tortilla oof maybe in the 27th round. Cody says this. He says Brandon is B-Rad from Malibu. Go right here. Mark Malone says we're getting Beck, man. It's happening. Jamal says I like Drew Aller works out. He looks okay. Tyrone says Mark Hush. Ty also says you and this damn Beck. Shut the fuck up, Mark. Black Magic says this. Also, Black Magic Jamal says like got you, Ty. Let's go right here. Ronald Albright, remember the name Sawyer Robertson of and you know what? Mark Malone certainly won't let us forget Robertson. Ronald says this. Remember the name Sawyer Robertson of Baylor. The dude has an arm that Josh Allen could only dream of having. In his release time, makes a young Aaron Rodgers drool over. Young Aaron Rodgers was pretty good coming out of Cal, though. I got to remember. I remember my friend I worked with. He's like, you got to see Aaron Rodgers. You got to see him. Whoever he goes to is going to be lucky. And you know what? They were not wrong. Let's go to Jamal. He says that's the goat dust got him bouncing up like that. You're right. It is the goat dust for Aaron. Let's see. Ty says, laugh my ass off. Goat dust. Ryan's a freak. Jamal says, Cody says, Sawyer Robertson better than Josh Allen. Let's go right here. What the hell? Tortilla is saying, somber. Rodgers got tackled by Broderick in week 7 and he broke his wrist in week 11. Gotcha. Jamal says, my bad. My woman loves my legs up. There's just something about that look for me. I just can't. I never will. I just never will. Mark Malone says, notice Jen is not here. Jen's got things going on, but she still listens. We still do see her on Discord every now and then. Hopefully things start getting better for her. Tortilla says, hope Steele wasn't on speaker. Ronald Albright says, Steele loyal, you don't have a clue. Robertson will be a 12-15 year all-pro quarterback in the NFL. Mark it down. I'm going to go right here. Still Loyal says, Ronald, I'm not even talking to you. Chad Schrader says, chat, this is a football channel and talk brown holes and asses and porn. LOL. You get a little bit of everything here. You got a little bit of everything.
All encompassing.
I don't have the attention span to stay on one thing. Unfortunately, let's go right here. John says, this Steeler freak says, Ryan, it is called pulling a possum. I don't want to I don't want to know that. Unfortunately, now I know that, though. Jamal says, fecal freaks is what we call them.
Jesus Christ.
2 Yinzers, 1 bum. Ty says, my dad loves Stewart. I did, too. I like Cordell a lot. I still got some of his things down in my boxes of all my Steeler stuff I collected over the years. I like Cordell. Steel Loyal, I was laughing at Jamal, not Ronald. Mark Malone says, guys, you've got to think we've had Beck in for a visit and met with him at the Combine.
I know. The same thing with Aller, too. And same thing with Vega. There's a lot of guys that there's a decent amount of overlap with some of these formal visits at the Combine and top 30 visits. So those are the guys you should look at for like rounds 1, rounds 2, and some of the quarterbacks maybe round 4.
And also, Mike, Ty Simpson didn't make the trip to Pittsburgh for a visit, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Let's get back. Sawyer hadn't been to space. We need a space quarterback. Hold on, let me get back here. There it is. Okay, Cody says, yeah, Steele Sawyer Robinson is the next Tom Brady. Jamal says, Stewart is my favorite player of all time. You know what? I like Cordell a lot, actually. I like the Cordell era, and I thought it was a lot of fun with Cordell during that period. I got to the AFC Championship game against the Broncos and against the Patriots in 2001 under Cordell Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go right here. Still, I was laughing at Jamal, not Ronald. Mark Malone says this. You know what? We did get to that. We did get tortillas. Tyrone says we done that with others. Don't mean we're picking him, Mark. Ronald says, sorry, Loyal. I thought that you were. Jamal, don't apologize, dude. It's all good, man. In Steeler Nation. Tater in here, still in the house. Gang. Jamal, suit up Tater. Or shut up, Tater. Is there. Thank God. Tyrone says, let me grab a few more of these, Mike, and we are going to shift directions, get ready for some trivia for the day. Somber says 3,681 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 interception, 63% completion, 3 rushing touchdowns. I would hate Robertson in the 5th or beyond. Somber been mocking him since December-ish. Mark Malone, I don't know, Tyrone, if he's there. Jamal says, Cordell on the dude, that was some of the yes, absolutely. Yes. That's my time for, and you're the same way. We're basically in that same age group where you really got to enjoy that era, and it was a lot of fun. Bussy and Cordell and Coach Cower, and it was a blast, man. Won a lot of football games, and as I said, under the leadership of Cordell, they did get that 2 AFC championship games. Say what you will. Also, this Tyrone. So now the 30 visit is done. I see wide receiver guard. Me too, and I'm hoping so. Anyway, Ronald says if Beck is taken by Pittsburgh, he will be the only person in the city that actually drives a Lamborghini. I don't know, what does Sidney Crosby got nice cars?
Probably.
Those Penguins got really nice cars. Let's go right here to Ty. I'm sorry, no. Steel Loyal. No, I like Sawyer Robinson. Sawyer Green Cole. Tyrone says. Let me grab this last one. Chad Schrader says, I'm ready for some trivia, even though I suck at it. But here we go, Mike. I'm going to pass this over to you. Why don't you tell everybody about the website, and we will get right into that trivia question.
Head on over to the2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. If you're new here, we got links to all of Ryan and I's social medias. We got a lot of draft stuff over there. Check it out. Like I said, if you haven't checked it out yet, Monday, RB put up a pretty good mock draft and his reasons why each and every pick. Check it out, everyone. We got merch store over there. Check it out at the2dumyinzers.com. And remember, we all love Dick here at the 2 Dum Yinzers.
I love Coach Dick LeBeau. There it is, everybody, on sale. Guys, do go check out the website, www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool stuff over there. A lot of work by Chop, by RB, by Mike. Mike's mock draft. Just a week left, if you can believe it, guys, till the draft. So go check that out. While all that information is still up there, I do know that it's scheduled. RB is scheduled to be in here at the end of the week, Mike. I know that he's been filling in for his boss at his work, and he also got his teeth broke out last week by way of a bungee. So we're hoping that we could get him in on Friday. It's been a rough run for RB, so hopefully we could see him here in a couple of days. Let's get into this trivia question for the day. Throw on your thinking cap, Mike. Everybody on the board do the same. Here is the trivia question of the day. We're gonna stay consistent and stay with the draft trivia. This is a heavy wide receiver draft. Nobody can make that argument, Mike, that it's not. So this is going to be a wide receiver heavy draft question. Here we go. In 1996, there were 8 Pro Bowl wide receivers drafted. Name 4 of them. In 1996, there were 8 Pro Bowl wide receivers drafted. Wow. You only need to name 4 to get this trivia correct.
Wow.
Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Or a little later today, 3, so we're running a little over. Guys, question of the day. In 1996, there were 8 Pro Bowl wide receivers drafted. If you could name 4 of them, don't look it up. See if you know. Let's take some guesses. We'll see if we can figure it out. Tortilla already throwing up his guess. Mike Andre the Giant. Tortilla's guess on the board.
Rashard Mendenhall.
There's 8 wide receivers. They were Pro Bowlers in the. There's your Mendenhall, Mike. In the 1996. Again, this was a heavy wide receiver draft. If you can name 4 of those 8, you get the correct. You will get it correct today. You don't have to name all 8 of them. Just 4. Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, and I don't know after that's what Steel Loyal is saying. Mike, what's your thought process? 1996. I mean, you were 10th grade.
16.
You wanted me to be wrong so bad, but I know because I was a senior in 96. What's the thought process?
I have no idea what year people were drafted. I am terrible at that. So let's go with, God, I don't even know. 96? Fucking old. That's a long time.
Okay, Derpy. Isn't Derpy the one that always
yeah, I know. I know. Let's go with
so long ago. How am I supposed to know?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Derpy.
Come on, Derpy.
Oh, no, not Larry Fitz. I scratched that. Let's go with Marvin Harrison, T.O., Randy Moss, David Boston.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Marvin Harrison, T.O., Boston, and Randy Moss.
Yeah.
And that's your final answer. So let me lock you in. Lock Mike in place on that. That's your final answer. Let's see, maybe some Randy Moss. John is saying, Steeler Freak said Randy Moss. Ty says, yeah, I only know Harrison too. Chad Schrader said, man, I got a brain like Mike on that question. Steel Loyal said, there's no way I'm getting the 4th. Robert Downey Jr. Tortilla is saying, Steel Loyal again. He did say, of course, Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, and he did say Keyshawn Johnson as well. Yes, I only know Harrison is what Ty is saying. Randy Moss. Ronald Albright says, oh, God, that's a tough one. I know Keyshawn Johnson and Marvin Harrison were 2. I don't remember any of the others off the top. Stalin, Cody says. Josiah Stalin. Let's go right here to Steele. He says, Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, Keyshawn Johnson, and I don't know. We'll give you just another minute, guys. Throw up your guesses. You might get it. Again, only 4. I'm only requiring 4 of these 8 wide receivers, guys. Ronald says loyal T. Owens, good memory. Of course, T.O. Cody, Bill Cosby. How can it not be Bill Cosby? Guys, again, the question of the day is this. In 1996, there were 8 Pro Bowl wide receivers drafted. Name 4 of them. To get this right, Mike says Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, Boston, and Randy Moss. was Mike's picks. Just a few more seconds, guys. If you want to throw anything else up there, you can do that, and then we will get to the answers here in just a sec. Again, 1996, a big wide receiver class. We're going to be asking this question 30 years from now. We're going to say back in 2026, and when it's 2056, and people are going to go, oh my God, that was, I don't know. It was such a big class for wide receivers. Guys, let's get this one last comment here by either Joe Baylor and Soil Robinson went 5-7 last year. I don't know if he's anything yet till after the 2026 season. Also, Tortilla says Abella Danger, Lisa Ann, and Maya Khalifa. Guys, let's get into the answers for the question of the day. Chad says, I'm just going to agree with Mike's answers because I'm having a brain fart, which is fine. I'd say it's 30 years ago. It's tough. Here we go. Question of the day. In 1996, there were 8 Pro Bowl wide receivers drafted. Name them. Mike, Marvin Harrison is correct. Terrell Owens is correct. Randy Moss wasn't for a couple more years.
Yep.
I remember watching in my first apartment in 1998, University of Marshall. I can remember that. And
Dude
then,
was a beast.
And then Boston as well is incorrect. Let me grab somebody that. Keyshawn Johnson. Somebody said that. That's correct. So that's 3. T.O., Marvin Harrison, Keyshawn Johnson. The other 5 are these people, Mike. Mushin Muhammad.
Yep.
Mushin Muhammad, Carolina, longtime great wide receiver. Terry Glenn. Joe Horn. Also from that class. Jermaine Lewis, the Ravens. And finally, Eric Mould, Mould. So the 8 receivers that were Pro Bowlers out of the 96 draft were Keyshawn Johnson, Terry Glenn, Marvin Harrison, Eric Moulds, Mushin Muhammad, Terrell Owens, Joe Horn, and Jermaine Lewis. That was the answers we were looking for. Mike, you got 2. Did get 2 out of 8.
Yeah. That was a really deep class too, because even guys who didn't get it, like Eddie Kennison, Armani Toomer, those guys had really good careers. Bobby Ingram was a decent number 2 receiver for a long time. There's some good receivers in that draft.
There sure were.
The top end guys, like holy shit.
Well, 8 of them were Pro Bowlers. 8 of them.
I know, like what? Yeah. Well, once I pulled up the list after I knew I got the question wrong, I just kept going down the list. I'm like, holy shit. A lot of good players in that.
Cody Steele Loyal says, dying to know the others. Let's scoot up here a little bit. Joe Rice, Pickens, Moore, Carter. Ronald says, wait, Terry Glenn, the Ohio State kid? I think Terry was New England. I think he got drafted by New England. Steele Loyal says, I fucking should have known Terry Glenn. Cody says, Tortilla, you forgot the Violent Gems. Steel Loyal says, damn, Terry Glenn. Wow. Guys, great job. That was a tough one. Again, once we're at this point, Mike, we're just 8 days away from the NFL draft. I'm really, really struggling to try to find questions that are relevant. Maybe some of the stuff I find is difficult because you really have to know exactly what it is.
I like this one, though, because you're able to go back and find guys that you forgot about and be able to talk about. That's kind of cool. I like that one. That was a very good one. I like it.
Steel Loyal says, close enough, but no biscuit. Great job, guys. That was the question of the day. You did good. It was tough. I wouldn't have been able to get that. I know the ones that everybody was saying, Marvin Harrison, T.O., Keyshawn. Beyond that, I wasn't getting Terry Glenn. I wasn't getting Eric Moulds out of that particular draft. Mushin Muhammad might have eventually came to me. Joe Horn, I probably wouldn't. And Jermaine Lewis, I didn't know he was out of that class either. So, again, great job. That was really good, guys. Great job with the guesses. Where are we at? Like, what are we doing?
We're
getting ready for the draft.
Get ready for the draft.
We're 8 days away. 8 days away from the NFL draft, Mike, right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And again, Mike, this is supposedly be the period of time that we're going to be learning about Aaron Rodgers. According to our media here in Pittsburgh, that's what they've been telling us. So we will see if that plays out that way. Katy Perry went to space too. We should draft her. And that's what they say anyway, but that's for a whole different day, a whole different story. I do want to say some other things, though. I do want to say this, guys. A lot of sports going on. A lot of sports. Sometimes you want to do some drinking while you're enjoying your sports. Don't make that any different, guys. Do stop by Giant Eagle, Mike. Right now, they do have 6 and 12 packs available of Duquesne Pilsner at Giant Eagle and cases wherever cases are sold. Do stop by, get your Duquesne Pilsner. The people there, Mike, they.
Oh, it looks like Ryan froze. It's Duquesne Pilsner everywhere.
Pull us back up. All right, there we go.
There we go.
All right, and let me just go here for a second. Draft Tortilla. Tortilla says, or Ty says draft Tortilla. Tortilla says I would play left GM. Guys, but do get your Duquesne Pilsner, Mike. They do all kind of favors, always including us in their promotions and such. The people at Duquesne Pilsner are great. Stop by, show them some love. Maybe you don't drink a lot. Stop by their websites, any of their social media website or social media pages. Stop by, hit the follow, like some things. It all helps out the people at Duquesne Pilsner, Mike. We always have Duquesne Pilsner here at the studio on tap, made right here in Pittsburgh, and it says on the can, "Grab a Duke."
Grab a Duke.
Also, don't just check them out. Swing by and check out our social media as well, guys. We're all over the internet. You can check us out and keep up with what's going on with the Two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. You can check us out at Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like button, the sub, the share, even leave a comment. Again, it helps. They all help in the algorithm, guys. We do appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Chad said I looked like I was praying there for a minute. I was praying for a minute that Mike doesn't need any surgery or anything on that knee. I'm so worried. I can't believe you're not going to a doctor. You're resorting to the cane before even going and getting it checked out. I'm worried sick.
I'll be fine.
Let's see. About Noah just read it. That was funny. Still loyal says this. He says, "I'm still buzzing from last night. Laughed my ass off. That was an adrenaline rush." You know what's funny about Mike? I wish you would just hit that. I just wish you would hit your microphone when you do these things.
I know, right? I realized that too as I'm in the middle of moving around.
Because I would rather look at you and hear those sounds than not see anything. And it's constant sounds. Jamal says, or I'm sorry, Cody says, "I don't know how people were sending pictures from outer space. I can't even make." I know. I know. Jamal says this. Oh hey, me and Tyrone will be back live soon. But no, you ain't. For real?
Oh, it's awesome.
Hold on.
For real? Damn, it must be true.
That's great news. Jamal, I'm super thrilled to hear that, bro. I kind of suggested it the other day, and if you're really doing it, I'm pumped up. I'd like to get some guys involved, here and we'll do things, dude. So if that's true, I hope that it is. I look forward to it, man. Let's go to. That's really cool. I'm excited. Let's go. Sorry, I'm getting caught up in all these messages. I might as well just read them. Oh, yeah, me and Ty. Okay, right here. Tortilla says, "Rub some cocaine on your leg." There you go, Mike. Rub some cocaine on that shit.
You know what? You send me some cocaine and I'll rub it.
Put some water on that shit. Let's go to Noah Clickbait. Laughed my ass off. I missed Jamal's lives. Jamal says there was no outer space. We're in a firmament. Let's go right here to Ronald Albright. "I know you all love Vega as our pick, but really shouldn't the Raiders trade back up into round 1 to take him? I can see the signs from the fan." Viva Las Vegas. Yeah, that does make sense. But you know what? I don't have any confidence that the Raiders will do things to listen. They haven't won a playoff game since 2002. The Raiders are just a bad franchise, man. It wouldn't surprise me if they F things up every way that they can. It's just what the Raiders do. Jamal, I sure will, Ryan. That's why I was mentioning that to you. Dude, yes. Let's talk, dude. I want to help and I want to be involved, and we'll get you guys. We could do a lot of things together, man. I'm really looking forward to these guys getting back at it. Mark Malone says, "If you shoot enough, it will eventually. If you snoot enough, it'll eventually reach your leg."
You know what? I'm willing to give it a try.
We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time, Mike. And tomorrow, you know what that is? That is just 1 week away from the NFL draft. 1 week away.
Wait.
Finally, 250 days. I remember that damn clock saying down there. We're going to be down to 7 tomorrow. So very excited about that. We'll be back at our regular time tomorrow to get into that and so much more. But don't forget this evening, check out the Pittsburgh Pirates, Mike, as they try to get back the lead from the Washington Nationals. That series tied 1-1. It's a 4-game set, though. So the Pirates back at it tonight. Carmen Majitsky on the bump to take on the Washington Nationals. Pirates looking to stay in first place. Also, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds again tonight, Mike, in the U.S. Open Cup, round of 32. They're traveling up to the north to New York to take on the New York Red Bulls. That is our Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That is a 7:30 game tonight. And again, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to talk about that. Everything else, so much going on, just a week away. Again, Friday, we are expecting RB to be in the house. And we have one freaking week, if you can even believe it. So a lot of things going on here. Let me grab a few more of these messages, and we are going to bounce as we were well past third, Mike. Right here on the board, Tortilla says, if you flex while pooping, everything factory resets. Jamal says, or sneeze. Dude, you know what? That's crazy to think about. Imagine a turd, you're shitting and you sneeze when you're actually shitting. I've never thought of even doing that. I never even thought it would take a picture. I think it would do. Let's go right here. Even better, Tortilla. What a reward shitting turned out to be in life. As a kid, you never think twice about it, You're playing, you run in the house, you take a shit, you go back out. Now in my late 40s, it's a thing, Mike.
It is a thing. It's a process.
I'm not a process. I enjoy it. I like the shitting process. But anyway, Mike seems to be already tapping out, so I'm going to...
I'm sorry, dude. I hit the wall right there.
Tortilla says, Ryan's about to experiment tonight. I am. Like I said, I think it's going to do a screenshot if I would try this, but it would take a picture. But we will try that. We'll try it tonight.
He's going to call me. I factory reset it on the toilet. I need help.
I'm sending you the screenshot. What are you talking about?
Hell no. You're on your own on that one.
But I think that's it, guys. Again, I hope to see everybody back tomorrow as this week is going right along. Mike, today is hump day. You know what? We can't finish without this.
No, I said hump everything. What? Too much.
But again, guys, thank you so much. Again, this was episode 947. We'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again, just 1 week away from the NFL draft. Right now, there's 8 days, hoping that we hear from number 8 over the next 8 days. That would certainly go a long way. A lot of good things going down in Pittsburgh, especially with our sports team, guys. Right now, this spring, moving forward, lots of big things, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Mike, your thoughts on today's show?
Really good show, really good fun talk. I'm loving the quarterback talk back and forth with everyone getting their thoughts on if we should draft a quarterback, who should we draft and where. I think the where is the most important for me. Rounds 1, 2, and 3 need to address a bunch of positions, not quarterback. Wide receiver, defensive back, D-line, O-line, maybe a linebacker. All those positions should be addressed before we gamble on one of these quarterbacks in the draft.
All right. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, guys. I hope everybody has a safe day. It's hump day. Enjoy yourself. The weather's nice here in Western PA. I hope it's nice wherever you're at. Get out, enjoy the weather. Have a great one, everybody. Stay out of trouble. Stay safe. Mike, one more time, I'm going to swing back around to you. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, my man. So for us here at the show, for RB, for Chop, for Finch, for Derpy, for Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers, everybody have a great hump day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.